Begin.
Go ahead, I caught it.
All right, so you guys have just finally finished eradicating all of the enemies that you're aware of on the top floor here. Um, and I believe that's exactly where we paused without any kind of rest or break or anything. So, um, who wants to start?
Man, I struck. Oh, that's right.
Louis. Search for the shit.
I screened the top map, so not the farmhouse map.
Yeah, scroll to the
Oh, no,
right.
yeah, it was on
Oh,
the-
yeah.
I remembered that too. The last second.
What? There we go.
So we hadn't looked in.
We haven't looted at
Hadn't really
all.
done anything. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just
Haven't done
kinda-
anything.
We took a breath as the last body that we'd seen hit the floor, right?
Basically, yeah, you killed the hell out of somebody, and then it was like, oh, we've run over time, so we called it there.
Yeah, we were at like almost 4 hours last week.
Yeah.
Check out this cool kitchen. You guys snacks in here?
That's the alchemy lab or something, right? Because I see crystals and shit.
And we need the crystals for Daryl boat.
Good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so if somebody roll investigation, Dole.
I'm dumb as fuck.
These things.
3.
You're pretty sure it's not a kitchen.
Ow, so that stuff on the tables looks pretty tasty.
Low investigation checks might be my favorite part of this game.
You poke around a little.
I'll go investigate.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many people you want to find in that kitchen. As you guys are, at first glance, you don't make too much sense of it. You're just pretty sure it's not a kitchen, but you do notice that what you had taken as a bubbling cauldron of soup appears to be a container of blood.
Yeah, I'm doing blood magic.
The snacks on the kitchen counter behind you are actually not snacks. It looks like most of them are jars containing some of them are fairly similar to what you'd seen on the magical cart that you were pretty sure was full of magic. There are some crystals scattered around here, and several of them appear to be installed on the desk at the end of the room. The desk at the end of the room has a couple of crystals basically installed next to a large ledger pad, and with a couple of small rune stones scattered around. There's an emplacement at the base of the crystal installation where the rune stones can be swapped in and out.
Does anyone else want to look at this? Because I was just looking for combos.
Yeah, my mic cut out, but I would like to investigate the room if possible. And where's Igor, by the way?
He's still
He's
in a bag
at the cart.
on the cart, as far as
Someone
we
should
know.
Fetch Igor and bring him in here so we can ask him about things like what the fuck was going on in here.
Can we check the room that's not checked first? Just
I mean, what could be in there?
I don't know, but just for safety. All right, I'm gonna pop the
Check the
door.
room.
I'm not even gonna stealthy do it. I'm just gonna pop the door
Wow.
to here.
I mean, I can, whatever.
Inside this appears to be a fairly it's another bedroom like the ones to the south of you. It's kind of sullied from this one appears to be especially sullied. Perhaps
sullied.
The rotting orc had been using this one as the bed sheets appear to be very crisp.
I just say gross and shut the door.
That's appropriate, I think. Yeah.
Can I open this one or not? Is the barricade in the way?
Barricade's kind of in the way, but it was a pretty hastily erected barricade. You could probably just kick the barricade over it, without too much effort.
You can really
My
take
bird-
down that erection.
My bird bones.
I'm head glitching on the staircase.
Yeah, can I
I
not?
was,
Can I move? I'm not even gonna kick it. Can I just like shove it out of the way?
yeah, you can basically just grab the
Okay.
barricade. You just sort of slide it down.
I just want to point out that I'm head glitching on the staircase.
Yeah.
apparently.
And then I'd like to open this one just to see what's in here.
Sure. And so the area to the south was just a closet with a broom and some cleaning supplies where you shoved the rest of the barricade.
Okay.
You crack open the upper door here, and it appears to be an office. The orcs maybe have rooted around in it, but they left it maybe in a slightly messier state, but it doesn't look like it was particularly well. It wasn't kept by the tidiest of people before the orcs came in and trashed it.
Can I look around?
There's paperwork all over. Yeah, give me an investigation search.
But I'm not good at that.
Somehow nobody is.
I have a.
Yeah, I'm not good at it either. I'm
So
+2.
that's a.
That's actually not true. I'm very.
What's your
good at
passive
investigation.
perception?
I have,
My passive perception is 16. I have
Okay,
high
so
perception. I don't have high investigation.
I have
Okay,
That's what I have.
investigation.
So you're not able to make very much sense at all from the paperwork. It just looks like paperwork as far as you're concerned. But you do notice as you're kind of trying to investigate it, you do notice there's a burlap sack buried underneath quite a quantity of paperwork behind the desk. It's got earnings and wages in it for a total of 65 gold.
And I'm the only one in here, right?
Wow.
Looks like there was a lizard coming down the hallway.
I was nearby. I heard there was a cool sack to look at. But
How did you hear there's a
Got
cool
money.
sack to look at?
it's okay. I don't care for material.
I don't really either, but I do like that I think I have more gold than everybody else in the group, and I'm a monk, and I think it's hilarious.
Pipe, I really enjoyed you just turning your icon around and going back down the hallway.
How do you have more
It's
gold than
not.
everyone in the group? Did you take the gold from your last character?
No.
Oh. Didn't we earn a shitload of gold before then?
So do you remember the captain's quarters where you took gold from Dole but not me?
Vaguely.
Oh, the
So you might actually have more gold than me, but I think I have more gold than everyone else. Anyway, I'm not going to be shitty over 65 gold though, and I just tell everybody I found 65 gold.
everyone but me.
By the way, Bringer, my passive investigation is 15.
Oh wow, okay,
Putting
that's
it
good
out
to
there.
know. Thank you.
And my
So we need to
bonus
split
is
65
5.
gold 5 ways.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you each get 13 gold.
That works.
Dug it, mediator.
Never keep track of
And
this.
Mediator is still out on the cart with Igor right now. He's just content to just stay up there, and they're having a in-depth conversation regarding many things.
Good for him.
You're inside of the faux kitchen, Adam. So you look around. You're spending some time in there, and you're kind of
Delicious
deducing
Vietnamese
that
soup.
The folk.
it looks like the apparatus with the crystals on the left, which has the rune stone socket, actually can drive a mechanical quill. If the quill is brought over onto the ledger,
We have a fleshy
the mechanical quill could activate somehow and write things down.
Oh shit.
Is it like a dictation machine? Like, what is it writing down? Are there any like papers around that have been written on?
Oh, there's a ledger pad there, but there doesn't appear to be any of like actual like output from this magical printer, let's call it.
I hope it's
I
like
don't
a
want
cool
to turn it
spell
on.
that Mediator can't get. I definitely want to turn that on before we leave. But before then, is only Bob Dole in the room here with? No, someone else is in the room.
I just moved my guy, but I'm not actually.
Because
I don't have anything to add
my
to the
compulsion
investigation.
is in the cauldron of boiling blood. I dipped the skull briefly into the boiling blood.
I got dipping sauce.
And you asked us, hey, you want to go in there? It's all right. Sorry.
What are you? Are you holding this skull while you're dipping it in there? Or are you getting blood on your hand? Or
I'm
are you
getting a
doing
little
like
blood on my hand. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not doing like Achilles' mom bullshit where you're like, I'm too afraid of this water to actually touch it. I'm gonna leave my child with it.
But I'm only
Okay.
getting it like up to my wrist. I'm gonna like put my whole
That's
arm in
fair.
there. But
That's fair.
It's getting a dip so that I'm literally wetting its beak in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you bring the skull out,
and I'm trying to do this kind of stealthily, but if something bad happens, it will be hilarious.
as you bring the skull out, as you dip the skull into the blood, you feel almost a resistance, and then as you pull the skull out from the dipping sauce, the blood actually kind of rises up almost as if it was like hungering for the skull. A little small whirlpool appears, and then it sinks back down and kind of sloshes around in the cauldron.
I find it amusing, and I tease the cauldron of blood with the skull a little bit. Like I play with it like I'm playing with like a tool above a child. I'm not staying here until something happens. I'm just being an asshole with the blood.
Just staring at him.
I look at Bob Dole and I like laugh and I stick right in the blood.
Give yourself an inspiration point.
Is this normal?
He's already got an inspiration point. He hasn't burned that one yet.
I know. Oh, that's true. No, he's just very inspired by his skull. It seems.
Nothing unusual about this.
I like put a finger on my lips and I shush Bob Dole and I laugh a little bit.
Fucking monks print on the heads of people, and I don't get an inspiration point. Adam plays with some blood.
I forgot about inspiration points until the other.
I know.
Adam, what flavor is the sauce?
Flavor of power. Powerade, literally.
Powerade.
Okay. No one else here has Arcana other than me, really, like a proficiency or anything, or do we?
Nope.
I don't know.
I shoot
I
arrows.
don't think so.
Okay, I wonder aloud loudly. I'm like, really want to turn this quill thing on. Like, this is really messing with me. Like, I'm strongly considering turning this on. I'm basically begging anyone to stop me at this point.
Go ahead, do it.
I would kind of shrug, like lean in through the door and be like, "Hey, live your truth, man."
Get a thumbs up.
Be out here though.
I shrug.
I don't know what's going on in there, but I want to say so many things.
Go for it.
But I don't know what's going on in there in character. I can't.
I'm telling
Well,
Adam
that's
to go
why
for
I
it.
said that I'm saying loudly, man, I really want to turn this machine on. And that's why I'm specifically saying it aloud in case you want to stop me.
Okay.
Or something.
From down the hall, you just hear crystals for Daryl coming out of the Kenku.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right.
So-
Break it.
Let's gather up the crystals and then we'll try and turn this thing on. I don't want to burn out crystals using this, and I don't want to accidentally damage the crystals. So,
Right,
fair
so-
enough. Let's
So the
really
crystals
turn
on
this
the left end of the desk are basically part of the printer installation with the little rune stone pocket underneath of them. The crystals on the right are in a basket, basically, like a holding container for like it looks like they're the refills.
Okay,
Shut
I
the
peek
basket
in,
back.
notice that, and just say, "Have your cake and eat it too," and then I move
Yeah.
back.
All right. Someone get these other crystals to safety in case we someday.
I'll take them.
Here. All right. So the other crystals are no longer in peril unless Bob don't get incinerated.
Probably be fine.
You will not be fine.
Maintaining a stable.
I definitely.
I mean, it's a machine that they use every day. It's not going to explode, but we might use it really wrong.
Start
Alright.
backing out of the room.
I turn the machine on and stand in front of it triumphantly.
As he's doing this, I ready an action.
Well, I mean, is it obvious how to turn it on? Even like, what is?
It has
what
a
do you
socket
do?
for a crystal, so I think I just jam a crystal into the socket, right?
Start fiddling.
So basically, the crystals are already in place, and then there's a socket for a rune stone, and then there's a number of rune stones sort of scattered around the desk.
Can
They
I do
all
it?
appear to be basically oval or round in shape. The socket's large enough to accommodate the slightly different shapes. One of the rune stones is basically a 9-pointed star with a number of sigils in the middle that you don't recognize. There appeared as one of the other ones is a horned animal. There's looks like one of them has they're not quite sure, but it looks like it could be like a lizard. Um, they're all fairly the stones themselves are only about like an inch and a half or so in diameter, so there's not a lot of detail on them. So it's fairly.
Does my background in creepy shit lead me to like any of the symbols more than the others, or not really?
Not really. You're not sure what they are, but you're actually.
I mean, a
what's
9-point
your
star
what's
sounds
your
pretty evil, like, I
arcana
like that.
sense? What's your
My arcana is +5.
Okay, so you, as a warlock and a high elf coming from the court there, you recognize that these runestones are sometimes given in place of a direct contact for a sending spell. So it's possible to essentially. So sending spells are a type of communication which you guys have picked up those scrolls of, and they typically require the sender to have at least some knowledge of who they're communicating with. But it's possible with stones like these to essentially have, in modern terms, a burner phone. So
Yeah, they're a burner phone version of the sending stones that we have.
So I could
Yes.
send a message with this, but I don't know who I'm sending it to necessarily. Is that right?
or it could be used to monitor, perhaps, or act as a receiving device for it as well.
I gotcha.
It's a
So,
telegraph
yeah.
machine.
So typically, a sending scroll like a sending stone like this, you would concentrate on and cast your spell or read your scroll of sending, and that would send directly to the person who's been attuned to a stone like this. You've never seen a machine to one of those stones. You've never seen a machine like this before, but it looks like it's possible with this machine to essentially tap in to somebody else's burner.
Pull Igor into here. I want Igor in this room with us.
All right, I could go fetch Igor. I can run past.
All right, Igor is in the
Double
room
time.
with us now, and I want to ask Igor if he knows who these things communicate with. Or, okay, all right.
We don't need to role play fetching Igor, but maybe
Do we need
if anything
a role
happens.
for Igor, or did he like try and make a break for it while we were going?
Oh no, he's happily engrossed in conversation with Mediator. There's the mind flayer you left him with is opened up entirely. The chest is wide open. One of the mind flayer's face tentacles has been removed, and his cranium is open and the brain is missing. It's pretty clear. Igor's been having a little bit of fun while he's been talking with Wu, and yeah, they're engrossed in conversation and don't hear you approach.
Okay. Well, what would you have asked for, Adam? Like, hey, could you
I want to know if he knows who this thing is communicating with, so we know who we're listening to and why we should listen to, like, the star versus the lizard or whatever, or anything else.
I probably didn't get all that so much.
What if the lizard is Captain Snake Eyes? Or you can bring Igor into this room and we can interrogate him.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I'm gonna go
probably what I really want.
Because he's
Got a
out
minute?
and like he's not captive anymore if he's performing an autopsy. So either we didn't time up very well or Mediator didn't see him.
Mediator probably let him out. That sounds like a Mediator thing.
Yes, let's say that.
So I'm just gonna go up to both of them and be like, hey, you guys want to come up to the house? We got some weird magic shit we want you to look at. Igor especially, I think.
Igor goes, probably not that interesting. I'll come.
Good man, Igor.
Well, so I'll come, but I'll bitch about it. Well, I guess it would
So
take a
say
lot
we
to
all.
interest him. He's seen a lot in his life. The unknowable Igor life.
All right, before I even get back to
Come
the
back.
stones, like, my attention is clearly on the cauldron of blood. Hey, Igor, what's with the cauldron of blood?
It's rotten blood, Master. It stinks.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say
Yeah.
anything. But it's your house, but you can say it.
It stinks of contaminations.
Is the blood useful for anything?
Not for Igor.
What would happen if I put you in the blood?
It would be really gross.
He's like, Igor's been in worse.
All right, Igor. I'm not gonna mess with you. Then. What do you know about these stones? Who is it? Is this your device or is this someone else's?
Oh no, Igor's not allowed in this room. I tried to enter the blood and then they kicked me out. But
Okay. So you don't know who your boss was communicating with, the master.
no one likes to talk to Igor.
I feel you, Igor. I've been there.
I'm getting that sense. Yeah.
Anything else we should look at in this house outside of this room that's cool, Igor?
There's the slaves in the basement.
Oh yeah, the base.
Oh yeah, the basement. Good point.
We've been busy.
Anything dangerous down there, Igor?
Sometimes that's where they keep the troll, but I think I saw you killed him. Good work.
We fucked that guy up.
I
Yeah,
high five
Igor-
the gazer in front of me.
Can Igor have him?
I was gonna say, you want to play with the troll? You can play with the troll.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does a little tippy tap dance. Actually, he's very excited about this.
Good man, Igor.
They let me cut on him sometimes because he recovers, but they wouldn't let me do anything cool.
We'll have fun,
one
but
time,
stick around, Igor.
one time I took a bit of his liver though.
You can have the rest of it if you want. It's all yours.
Cool.
Okay. I think we should turn this machine on just to see what we get out of it, and then I think
Yeah,
we should
just
go.
do some random shit with it and see what happens.
Yeah. Let's.
Did Mediator
gonna-
come up with you or no?
Well, that's
We would like Mediator to be useful.
I doubt he would stay alone out in
Yeah,
a field while we were all
If
in the
Mediator
house.
was
He's
here,
in
would
the
he
house
not
somewhere.
ask
Mediator's
ask
gonna get
to
captured
do some
again
kind
by
of wisdom
gnomes.
roll? Like he would naturally do it. So
All right, so he's up in here in this room, and he's gonna do some deductions of this room because I'd kind of anticipated him being here to have his character to explain this to you guys. And you're all a little bit dumb.
hope the child.
Drink the blood, dude. Did not actually do that.
I mean, now I want him to drink the blood. So,
What is that voice?
Don't worry about it.
Drink the blood.
Mediator comes in and he basically is able to explain that this looks to be like a wiretapping device. So he pulls out. He actually has. He recognizes one of the stones on the shelf. And is very concerned about that. Doesn't recognize a few of the others, but suggests putting them in to find out what would come up. Adam, with your high investigation, you've noticed that there are small imprints left on the pad from the last time the quill had been run over it.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Let's roll. What can we say we want to do with this?
Rub some charcoal on it.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
roll
I'm
some
gonna-
graphite over
I'm
it.
gonna prestidigitate some graphite on this bitch here.
Yeah, I guess if you could make clothes dirty, you could probably
I can make a
Just
little
make
bit of
paper
a-
dirty.
Yeah.
cast some dust onto some paper. I guess.
I like it.
Wizard CSI.
So as you do that, you're
Bum, bum.
able to basically read the last message that had been pressed through with the quill. It's got the beast skull first. Sketch it quickly. One of the stones that you recognize has that logo on it. And then the message reads, party in pursuit, illicit hurt, help required, beach camp.
Beach cat.
Shit.
Ah,
Everyone
this-
can see this. I don't even communicate this to anyone, but
So this is the last dispatch they received from.
Basically, we're getting fucked up. There's fireballs everywhere. All of our tomes are burning.
Every
kinda-
single spellbook
I
tent
laughed
is
to the
lost.
group about the message. I'm like,
Our backup of our backup of our backup is gone.
Wait a second.
They got all.
We were on a beach.
Guys, I think this might have something to do with that mind player. Bunch of 10 intelligences over here.
All right, cool. So that was what was on the pad already. I assume that's the best we can tell from that pad, and then we can go. We can't tell anything from any pads below that, right? We can't go layers deep.
It looks like there's some deeper imprints that you're not quite sure about.
Since I have my I don't know if calligrapher would help at all, since I'm proficient in that, and I also have very high insight.
Are you also a big like fraudster? Aren't you like a big?
Yeah, I'm a
man?
forgery dude.
Okay,
By
so-
it's a racial ability.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean we all have official documentations from Trash Town that says that we're like officials now because of
We
me.
all have
That's
our
right. That's right.
deputy badges.
Yeah, we are all deputies.
We don't
Just-
need our sticking badges here.
Right. So as as you're taking a look at this pad, you do recognize that there are imprints from like previous levels. Like those papers have been torn off, and the imprints are a lot fainter. And so the last message is obviously the easiest to read. But with a little bit of time, you could probably pull out the last couple of messages perhaps and make sense of them using your ability to sort of decipher solely based on the depth of the imprint left in the parchment.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Good call. So the
I cast Minor Illusion, which just creates a nice little desk lamp over it, so I can see exactly what I'm doing as I pull out my like forgery kit to kind of start trying to piece this together.
Next message reads has the the lizard or crocodile face runestone first. You're pretty sure that's what it is, but it's in the same spot as all of the other logos, but you're able to deduce it. And the message reads: Lizard folk arming slowed, still progressing. Revolution soon.
Oh.
I like Revolution.
And I'm just transcribing what I'm figuring out on another piece of paper, and I just hand it to you guys, so we don't have to go through me trying to say that in 3 different voices.
Yeah.
Huh. So we found some lizard men on a boat a while ago. They seemed pretty pissed. And we found a lot of weapons. I bet they were probably taking them to some other lizard men for bad shit.
So out of character, they're arming lizards for a revolution while we are arming kobolds for a revolution. Just kind of want to point that out.
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
They're not going to revolt against each other. They don't have power over each other. They'll fight 2 different sets of people. One of them's cops.
Proxy war. Proxy war.
This session is dedicated to the brave fighters of the Mujahideen.
In Afghanistan. Oh, boy.
So are we going to set this off by assassinating someone? It just seems to be going that way in a very unfortunate path
Look,
or
Barrett's just been
timing.
watching the news and made this campaign.
No, I
based
think
on
we
that.
were already heading there. What I'm saying is this game's prophetic, and that we should kill Bringer because clearly he's a witch. He weighs the same as a duck.
Cyclical, because we've done this a lot. Gone and assassinated somebody who sparked off a war. We, this Dungeons and Dragons party, and also
Yeah.
we, the Western world.
So we're America, is what you're saying. We're the CIA.
Yes,
We
we are
are-
the,
We're the
we are
CIA,
the Wizard
yes.
CIA,
This is the CIA task force.
which surely is a thing in J.K. Rowling.
Except we have no subtlety
Weird shit.
or, subterfuge at all. We just
I
So
mean,
the CIA.
But you
have
also
you
have
seen the way
more
that the
effective
CIA
tools than
operates in South
waterboarding.
America?
that's true.
I'm a secret agent.
You don't have to waterboard people when you can just force them to be your friend immediately. Like Adam,
Hey, look,
Adam is
we
like
found
a
this
better
guy who's a
interrogator.
total piece of shit. Just go do piece of shit stuff.
It's the ultimate good
We like him.
technique.
Yeah.
It is. And you've got terrible monsters with you for bad thoughts. Mediator's character, as he's kind of sitting there, also kind of toying with the blood pool a little bit, I think. Maybe not, but I think he is.
I mean, it seems like a good idea to me.
I get bored and wander off.
Was there anything else, or was it just that one page that I could make
that
out?
was the one page you could really make out. The rest of it was pretty obscured below that. You did manage to catch a little bit of one of the messages. There was a couple of phrases from the message that you had found on the captain at the beach. It looks like that had been transcribed, and perhaps he had been sent to the beach in preparation. But there are no teleports sites here.
All right, so let's turn the machine on then, right? If we haven't done that.
Well, yeah. So we know the last
The-
two. We know Lizard and whatever the first one was. So we could grab another.
Beast and Star were the ones, or Beast made the comments about the enemy position. So I kind of want to know what Beast Stone says more than the other ones.
Beast
Well,
mode.
Well,
seems
but that's
to be the
if
one
it's said
sending
anything else since the last time, right? Like, wouldn't that be how it works? Is it's sort of pulling the last message off the burner
Oh,
phone?
you think it's like a machine, or like an answering machine?
Well, as opposed to if you're listening in on it live, that's only if they happen to be sending messages right now. So it's like whichever the last message came from that stone to whoever.
I guess. I mean, honestly, I don't think we know until we turn it on. How much paper is left, Bringer?
It's a pretty high stack.
Can I take about half? Pocket it.
Yeah, there's
Paper
also that
is not
room full
cheap.
of parchments in the other.
Is paper rare in this world?
Fantasy world.
I mean,
Right.
it's most. I just assume we're fantasy world, so paper tends to be kind of specific. So if we ever need this specific paper,
Gotcha. Okay.
That's
All right.
and
Fair
since
enough.
I can
You
forge
grab-
shit, just
So I
in
assume you also
case.
take that off the bottom of the pile. So
Yeah.
there's no imprints or anything.
Correct. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
So yeah, you've got like 15 sheets of paper off the bottom.
So yeah, I
Let's
want
try and add that to my inventory. 15 sheets
the
of paper.
stone that is
Custom
causing us
item.
trouble.
So what stone is this, Adam?
The beast stone is the one that was reporting enemy movement and telling us what it was putting in our path, right?
Yeah.
All right, then that's the one I want to plug in first. 'Cause it seems like it will be. That's probably.
You get the same message as last time.
All right, fuck that then. Let's plug in one of the stones that we didn't get the message off of. So one was the V stone. I thought another one was a different stone, right?
There was a 9-pointed star,
Yeah.
beast stone, and a lizard stone.
Okay, let's put in the 9-pointed star because it seems the most.
And you get the message that the captain had on the beach there.
All right, then let's put in the other one.
This one actually has something new when it reads off. Ooh. I gotta cut my words. I'll get a couple.
Teleport from room to room. Yeah, we probably scavenged the rest of the house while all this was happening.
Except for the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go to
Yeah.
the basement.
We'll go down to it together.
I mean, I make complaint.
God damn it.
That is cool, dude.
I agree, but we'll find more new blood.
Will make me.
Wolfenstein: The New Blood.
The statement reads: Swamp ruins excavated, lizard folk pleased. More weapons needed. Payment ready.
Swamp. Was the Swamp Ruins one of the places that Lojo was offering to take us? Or
Yes.
do we know where these are? Okay, all right. Then
I do
seems
remember
like
that.
we may have a lead then. If we don't find something in the basement.
So Flojo did have some information about the lizards, but maybe not about I don't remember actually what these swamp ruins. Yeah, he did have some information about some swamp ruins. Yes.
All right. I think we should go down to the basement, guys.
I wander
I-
into the first floor closet and get lost.
I point to Adam. I point back to the bench, and I just say the word shrink, and then kind of make a hand motion of like how big the thing is, and then make it smaller, trying to imply, is there a way to compact this down so we can take it with
Can we
us?
take this with us? Got a fucking sick ass ship.
What is
What is it?
the sockets?
Does this fold
Like the
up
crystal
bigger?
sockets, are they? Is it like as big as a printer? What are we talking?
So it takes up a pretty good size portion of the desk there. The crystals in themselves are pretty big, and then the sort of the mechanical apparatus that drives the quill is probably about a 2 foot by 1 foot thing, and then the ledger itself is fairly substantial as well. So overall, the thing makes up about like a 4 foot long by 2 foot deep section of a desk.
Does it look like it would survive being taken on Igor's cart back to the ship?
Yeah, you can probably smash it looks like it definitely isn't part of the desk. The apparatus is on the desk, so you could try to disassemble the apparatus and reassemble it. It'd probably be not that hard.
All
It's,
right, I think
it's
I think-
how big?
About 4 feet by 2 feet.
That is my desk.
Hey, guess what fits in a? Guess what the dimensions are of a bag of holding?
It's like we got the answer right here.
How much does it weigh?
Tuck it in there.
Not more than about 50 pounds.
Oh, we should be able to. I went ahead and metagame because I assume in this world I should know what a bag of holding is.
Yep.
So it should fit.
You could probably put it inside a bag of holding. It looks like there's once it comes up off of the desk, it's clear that like the individual components can be disconnected and reassembled. So like the crystal platform with the room segment in it is one piece, and then that connects to the sets of gears and mechanisms that drive the quill, and then the quill just runs over top of a ledger of paper.
So we're basically
It's not
taking
really
a printer apart and putting it in a bag. That's pretty
Yeah,
much what we're doing. Yeah, like an office printer, though.
Yeah, like
Magical office print.
PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
Bringer, I stick my head in the well and use the light cantrip. Do I see
Meanwhile,
anything?
while we're doing all this nerd shit up here.
Bondle's definitely getting his head taken off.
All right,
All right.
I'm gonna leave Adam to his devices. I think we have a plan, and I just say, don't
Yeah.
forget the Daryl crystal.
Yeah. Well, Bondle already has that. He's. All right, let's.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm-
right.
yeah.
I'm ready to head
So
down
down
to-
inside the
Sorry.
well is it's water. It's water.
Cool.
Good to know if we need some water. Why is this place
I'll
called
wait by the cellar
Butterstone
door.
Ranch, by the way?
Don't worry about it. because it's from a different thing.
Butter some skulls.
All right, so let's. We're gonna head down to the area outside of the basement, right? Where's my character?
Let's go to the
All right.
cellar.
Oh, yeah, the
So
cellar,
this-
you have to go outside. I was like, there's no basement
Yeah.
stairs in
No.
here. It's a cellar. Cellar door.
I mean, we could just hit the ground a bunch. Eventually, it'll break. Just cast fireball in the room, create a giant crater.
Just collapse the
gonna-
house on itself.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
I'm
be
pretty
right
sure we
door.
suggested that before we ever went in. That sounds like something we would do.
I'm gonna detect thoughts through the door to see if there's anyone thinking anything hostile on the other side of the door.
Anyone wearing really short shorts and a really long shirt?
God damn it.
Detect Instagram.
Thoughts.
Van life. Why YouTube thinks that I'm like all about van? That's great.
Can you detect age too, so I know to feel
I
bad?
think you have to. I think you have to be able to see things before you can detect thoughts from.
Yeah.
I thought it was you can detect but not read.
You can. Yeah, sorry. You can use the spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see.
Okay.
You
When
can
you cast the
penetrate
spell-
barriers.
You can search for
Um,
thoughts within 30 feet in front of you. It can penetrate barriers, but 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of metal, other than lead, or a thin sheet of lead blocks. So I can detect if there are thoughts. Then I suppose with. Okay,
Never
I can
mind. So
detect
yeah,
whether or
you,
not-
yeah. So then once you do that, you can read the thoughts for the rest of the duration. So
Yeah.
never mind.
So,
So that's so you don't have to see them. That's stupid.
but I do have.
Yeah.
But if I do that, I can only tell if there are thoughts there. I would have to send another charge to detect what those thoughts are at that point.
Nope. You have the
Nope.
duration of the spell. So the spell is for a minute.
All right.
So you kind of focus on your thing
Yeah.
for a little bit, and you have to like kind of pass, like, reach out, and you can get blocked by a few feet of
I do the,
rock and such.
All right. Do I detect
Apparently,
these?
lead blocks you because you're X-range
Super-
thoughts.
Yeah.
So you do sense the presence of a couple of mines down there, and when you focus in on these mines, you basically just sense a lot of panic and terror.
All right. Then.
You say
before we open the
shock
door-
and terror? I'm gonna
Before
watch
we open the
Birdemic.
door. Okay, so message works is I can cast a spell through solid object if you are familiar with the target and know it is beyond a barrier. And then basically 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, thin sheet of lead, etc. Blocks and kind of this similar restrictions. But this door probably wouldn't unless it was lead lined. Would just being able to detect their thoughts mean that I could send them a message of calm the fuck down, we're not the bad guys?
I know how we could do that. We could pound on the door and say, "Calm the fuck down in there. We're not bad guys."
Gotta rip that door
And then we
apart.
open the door.
All right, that's fine. Let's do that actually, because that's
Rip
actually
the door.
simpler than
Rip the door apart.
Rip the door, Jack.
rip this door.
Jack, rip this door.
All start growling.
I rolled a 17 to rip that door.
I knew it would happen. We're way more
I wish
cautious
it was
about
better
opening a
armored
door
to
that
this
people
part,
open every
so
day.
go for it, guys.
Okay.
So
Turning on a
Bungle
magical device.
tears the cellar doors literally off of the hinges, and light opens up and pours down into the cellar. You see a lot of blood stains at the top of the steps, and the bottom as well. Some manacles are attached to posts there, and there are actually a couple of very frightened kobolds pinned back.
Oh
against
shit!
I go down. I mimic taking off a helmet I don't have, and I say, "I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to help you."
Do it. These aren't any of our buddy kobolds in our army from back in the day that got kidnapped or anything, right? They're just totally different ones. It's racist of me to
I
assume they're
wouldn't
all paid to
recommend
each
them.
other.
I wouldn't recognize them, so it'll have to be somebody else.
It's racist of me to think they would be the same kobolds, but I'm going to ask the question anyway.
No, these don't appear to be kobolds that you recognize. They just have the unfortunate distinction of being small and chained up. As you come down into the cellar, there's another area beside that opens up. You're able to see containing
Good
a number
lord.
of other corpses. A couple of kobold corpses and a goblin corpse and a big old blood drain. Looks like this is where they just tossed bodies casually. Some of the bodies have some bite marks on them.
Gross.
Yeah, they're pretty messed up.
Does it seem like these guys are here against their will, or?
Oh yeah, they're manacled up.
No, so-
They're-
But
they're
I mean,
pinned up
are they acting like they're under a spell? Because we've seen that before. on
No,
the boat?
they're just pressed back against the sides, and they're like, are you here to kill us or to help us?
Can I just, the dude I'm in front of, can I just attempt to detach the manacle, even if I have to use Thieves' Tool or whatever?
Yep. He's not trying to fight you, so you're not going to have to roll for it. They're just going to take you a little bit.
So basically, I just have as much time as necessary because there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
It's not gonna blow up and knock me out for 5 fucking turns, is it?
They will greet us as liberators. We will free the kobolds.
All right. Well, I loosen the manacles on this dude.
I would say we are here. We're here to help. Don't worry.
So they
Someone has made that clear.
Says the giant lizard guy.
Yeah. Don't worry
kinda,
about it.
They kind of
They're
sink
small
down
lizard
and explain that they've been kind of kept prisoner here for weeks. They've been occasionally, fed, and sometimes the Igor comes down and cuts on one of them, and it's usually for they've recognized after a while that it's actually for their benefit. It's sort of been helping and keeping them alive. Although they were kind of starting to wish that perhaps he would let them die. So that was why they were asking what you were there for. Like, death is better than this continued captivity. The bodies in the further annex there definitely show a lot more surgery marks on them. Looks like one of the kobolds has had a limb completely replaced.
Frankenbull.
I just yell up the stairs the word Igor and shake my head.
Seems like a pretty good racket. You guys the troll gets to fight. Igor gets to practice medicine. Everybody's alive. Nobody's happy. I don't see the point though. I mean, I get it in the abstract. But was it all just to kill time while they waited for some other shit to happen?
Kobolds speak common, right?
Yeah, one of them does.
All right. So I mean, we'd say we're everything's fine. Everyone upstairs is dead now. You don't have anything to fear, but help us understand what the hell was going on here.
We thought we joined a cult, a religion, a group of people that return, and we thought everything was great. And then this group of trolls, ogres, and orcs came by, and they convinced us that we should come with them. The leaders of our camp said we should come with them, and we came out here. There was a dozen of us or more, and they've killed so many, just treating us as food.
You the cult in the red robes?
Yes, yeah, we were red robe returners. That was us. We thought it was so freeing to be with a group that was just all about calm and trying to get away from constant murder. But
Seems like murder's everywhere.
Are you? So the people who took you, were they also returners, or were they other people?
we were with the returners, and then our minister told us to come with this group and sent us away.
They sold you out. Wow, I've never heard of that in a religion.
Need to follow the religion of the Golden Skull. I didn't say that in character.
Look, we call ourselves the Friends of the Golden Skull. All right, it's not creepy.
That's the big plot twist in 2 years is going to be we all actually were under the thrall of that damn skull.
I mean, I embrace it. I say welcome it. But
Why think about the skull? I only have positive feelings.
Glojo, message me the name because I missed it, but it was probably good. So
Oh, Friends of the Golden Skull.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we say, I bet you'd like us to get back at those people who sold you out. Where are the leaders of the returners, by the way?
Oh, I don't know about the leaders of the returners, but our camp was just on the other side of the swamps, on the.
Get out of my swamp.
You know, I'm hearing the word a lot.
Yeah, I'm
Swamp,
telepathically
swamp,
speaking like people. I'm like, man, it really seems like we gotta go hit that swamp soon.
I like swamps.
Swamps are
Swamps
cool.
are fine.
Yeah.
We had a big camp. There was probably 200 of us there, but the local ministers they convinced us that our little group of kobolds should leave. There was a lot of fuss about kobolds, so all the kobolds were packed up. They said it would be better for us to come with these guys and show them how they could be true returners. But all they did was abuse us and eat us. And
They were just being dicks to kobolds again. That's like the thing.
That's kind of the theme.
Well, it seems like somebody at the end of all of this really wants a certain kobold or something from a kobold
There's
because they're
just-
really after him.
There's just a Hitler out there that hates kobolds, I think. So he's trying just to exterminate all the kobolds.
I knew a kobold once. He's a dick.
It feels like they're being abducted and then evaluated, and when they're not the right one, they get dumped to a place like this. And I don't know what the end goal is, but I don't like it. They're weird, tiny lizards, but they're still lizards.
Okay,
They deserve our
not in
respect.
character, but to my group, and not even necessarily the DM at this point. So, someone
Cover your ears.
Someone stole Mediator. I don't care if Bringer hears it.
No, I'm being.
I don't expect Bringer to answer. Is what I'm trying to say. At some point, someone stole Mediator. Did they steal him because he was a kobold or the kobold?
From what not my character, but from what we know, he was supposed to deliver a package, decided not to deliver the package.
Yeah.
We can only guess what the package is, but we don't actually know. And because he didn't deliver it, kicked off a lot of anti-kobold sentiment. So he could have been like a useful patsy. I don't think there was anything necessarily special about him specifically. It had to do with the thing that they gave him.
I thought maybe he opened the package. It was his gun, and that's what he's being.
Right, and I think we all assumed it was his gun, but this seems like a lot of shit to go through for a gun.
You would think so.
That blew up the first.
It was pretty OP, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the first thing he did was just blow up the fucking barrel. So I don't know how great of a gun it was at the time.
Well, I think that was also partly how good of a kobold.
Right.
That was one of the best.
Yeah, I hate that we didn't get that on recording. Anyway.
Okay.
It's on in
Anyway,
memory.
the point is, the reason why I say that is because he was clearly kidnapped, right? Like, he is in their possession.
Right.
So I don't know that they need to be continuing to kidnap kobolds unless he was not, like, the kobold of choice.
Right.
Like,
I
time has passed.
I'm starting to
So-
feel like he was a patsy to start
Okay.
anti-kobold stuff,
All right.
but I don't know.
So anti-kobold stuff has been pretty rife. I will say this has been pretty rife after you guys came to the town and armed those kobolds. One of those kobolds went
we
and
did
killed a
that
bunch
too.
of people, and that really
Not
kind
all
of, like,
kobolds.
My
kicked
bad.
off a real shitstorm.
Did we just find like a fucking Sword Coast Times laying around in the
We
living
literally armed the
Like-
Mujahid.
I was just reminding Adam of some of his
Yeah,
previous.
I guess we made this worse.
But it sounded like kobold sentiment got worse when the guns or the package situation happened, and then we happened, which made it worse.
I mean, like it's just one of those things. Like it's a roller coaster. It's just all downhill, right?
And as much as I hate to admit it, Mediator, one of us technically. So I guess guess we're responsible for most of the bad things that are going on to Koboldkind right now.
It's fine.
Anyway.
We'll fix it.
On that note,
We were Salt Marsh's Pearl Harbor.
I invite the kobolds. I said, kobold friends, the friends of the Golden Skull have freed you and have liberated you. Spread the word, but you are also welcome to come with us to get revenge on those who have wronged you. You may make your choice whether you come with us for blood or you go and speak our name in cheer.
I say we have our own ship, and then I gesture kinda around the room in a very like non-committal as I say the word ship, hoping someone will explain.
It's
that shit.
complicated.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
There's weapons on the corpses upstairs if you want them.
I offer them the opportunity to get revenge on Igor if they want it. Like I subtly say,
Hey,
we got Igor,
our
by the
Igor.
way, if you want to like kind of get back at him.
I smashed the manacles on the last captain.
this is our fucking Operation Paperclip, all right? Igor is coming with us, and we're gonna make sure his talents don't go to waste, even though he did some work.
Great. We are
Man, there's a lot of competing episode titles here.
He's going to develop the ICBM equivalent for Fireball.
Good lord.
Fuck Salt Marsh! It's going down.
A portable
That
fireball.
gas is flammable. The whole thing will go.
It's gonna be great.
They say they're not too interested in extracting vengeance on Igor. They recognize it.
He's
Just
kinda
doing what
slow.
Igors do.
He's a victim. We're all victims here.
And
He's
in
doing
some
like
cases, it actually.
Right?
I can't even tell if it's been positive for them and not a purely negative experience. One of the kobolds pulls up his prison garment, basically a cotton shift, and reveals a massive scar running from just above his pelvic bone to right below his collarbone.
Like, damn.
The stitching looks haphazard and crazy at first, but it appears to be holding very, very well.
That looks like
It says-
Igor's work.
Are Igors in this world you are hastily creating very Discworldy in that people know of them and they are respected for their craft, even if they're creepy?
Kinda, I guess, yeah.
All right.
It wasn't my intention at first, but then I blurted out the name Igor, and that was just,
And now here we
yeah,
are.
you know what?
Strap
Like,
in,
well,
boys.
people, yeah, well,
Keep
people
running with it.
we go into town like, oh, you've got an Igor.
Yep.
Or you hired yourself an Igor.
So
Wait, is that
generally,
literally how it is in Discworld? They are all called Igors.
Yep.
That's like
wow.
the goof in Discworld, and that they're everybody kind of dislikes them and they're creepy, but they are also amazing surgeons, and like it borders on magic, but it's not magic really. Even
But
though
I
magic
really
is
meant that they're
that
all
world.
actually named Igor specifically.
But yeah,
Yep.
and Igorinas, I
That's
believe.
funny.
The girls are
alright.
just named Igor. I don't remember.
but basically, they're as Pipe Rifle explains it, they are sort of a known quantity to some degree. A lot of people might go their entire life without seeing an Igor. They don't generally tend to be around large cities because they're awkward at best. So you have heard of them in the past, but this is probably the first encounter any of you would have ever
I thought
had.
this was just like a lone wacko, then I definitely would be more. I did not mean to offer him up for murder, and I'm glad they didn't take him up. Then. Good.
Well, and we don't need to
I
bite the
wanna
whole
keep him
thing
on our
about
sheep then.
Igor as profession, but
Yeah.
Well, and
whatever.
So it's
the
sort of
idea
a
of a
mythical
flesh
thing,
tinker
really.
is the thing, and yeah, he's one of those or whatever.
I mean, we'll keep him
It's-
below deck. We don't need to let anyone know we have any.
That's probably the way you'd want to approach it. Like they are sort of a mythical, like parents would be like, you better eat your carrots or the eagle will get you.
Give your arm
kind of
to
thing.
a
Like
kobold.
they're sort of a boogeyman, but sometimes they're people will be like, no, the eagle came by and saved my husband after the plow cut him in half. Never mind that his bottom half now has like a donkey leg.
Fair enough.
And so it's kind of a curse because they don't necessarily. So people will perceive their presence as a real mixed blessing. It's not necessarily the Igor is going to come in and do your surgery. And again, this is all sort of cultural myth that you've heard of. You don't necessarily know how true it is because a guy with a donkey leg is, it's kind of weird.
Like that
But at the same time,
commercial where Santa meets the M&M and the M&M meets Santa. It's like, they are real.
Think about a world where Igor is a doctor,
Okay.
but the majority of the population are anti-vaxxers.
yeah, that's a
good
pretty
way to
distinct
put it.
way to go with it. And so the kobold goes like, no, the Igor's, we wouldn't do that. And he unveils this big scar, and you're like, whoa. The myths may have some root in reality, or who the fuck knows?
All right.
Needs
Truth in video games
stitches and
journalism.
ointments, no thanks. I'll keep rubbing shit in my wound like a good citizen.
Let's go set the entire swamp on fire.
May be
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah, so the last
Physiological.
serious thing that I think any of us said was that I offered to invite them
Yeah.
to join us or not. So,
And I was just
are
like,
they-
yeah,
do they
there's
wanna come
weapons
with
if
us?
you want to grab them. We've got a ship.
So they scurry
Yeah.
upstairs and go grab some weapons and say that they're going to make their own way back. They as far as they know, like one or two of their kobold companions may have actually escaped before. They don't say anything about the couple of kobolds. Those are orcs that you guys killed. The kobolds on the floor were killed by the troll.
Yeah.
But they kind of have done like a mental count, and they think that several of their companions may have actually managed to escape, like diving out the window.
Man, they definitely had their bones thrown down the well. They're not. All right.
So
I
they're
don't
going to
tell
arm
them
up.
Could have rabbited. And
They're
will
going to
they
arm
lead
up
us
and
to
see what they
swamp?
can do.
I don't remember if they are headed
alright.
the same way as us. Because I realize we're talking about the ship, but we don't need the ship if we're going overland to a swamp camp.
Where's the swamp at? Do we need to get back on the ship to go to the swamp?
So they kind of point you. So if you guys scroll over to the overland map on the
Sure.
left here, you would come in on the trail down on the south part.
The Tribor Trail.
Yeah, you guys would come in following that road, and then there's a road that leaves going out to the east. That road starts to go through a bunch of swamps. So the sea is actually to your north. You just had to kind of go south around some mountains here. You can see the terrain to the north of the farm. So the trail, you guys had come in far from the west. You had to travel south for a bit first, then north along this road to come into the farm area here. The swamps are essentially an overland route along the coast, which again is to the north of the So you could go along the road here through the swamp. So the road kind of stops for a while. There's trails for the swamp, and it's more difficult to pass through. So a lot of people might try to sail around the swamps, but if you're trying to get through the swamps or to something like in the swamps, sailing would be a bad bet.
All right.
Fair enough.
Then we'll go on foot then, I suppose.
We'll take the
All right. So sounds like we're parting ways. I just I hold the skull kind of triumphantly. So remember, spread the word.
They do a little kind of bow towards the skull
This is our brand now.
and scamper away.
I hold it. Before they leave, I hold the skull closer, and I point to the skull. I imply that they should kiss the skull. It's just kind of like a power move.
Roll persuasion.
Just holding it out like asking for a tip.
Persuasion.
Like,
Plus 30, yeah.
So they appear a little hesitant at first. It's definitely an intimidating thing for them to do to lean forward and kind of kiss this skull from this weird elf who has some blood herself up to about her elbows.
But I wiped the skull. The skull is clean.
No, the skull didn't require wiping. After you pulled it out, the blood on it basically didn't drip off of it. It kind of soaked in. The skull is very faintly glowing right now. It just it's getting a little bit late in the day, um, and the sun has actually gone down behind the hills. So there's no direct sunlight, but the skull itself seems to be catching the sun somehow. Um, and the first kobold, the one with the enormous scar, uh, leans forward first and gives the skull a large, a firm kiss on the forehead, and kind of motions for the other one to come forward and do the same thing. And he kind of stumbles forward and gives the skull a kiss as well.
I tell them, "Bless you, my children," as they kiss the skull.
Praise the golden skull, they say,
Praise
as they praise this golden skull, and then they scamper into the orchard and sort of disappear into the trees.
And I just kind of like shrug to my group here. I clearly imply like that. I just want to just do that, see if I can get them to do it.
Hey, I come from a tribe of lizards in a swamp too, so like everything you guys do is pretty fucking weird. So I don't know, like kiss the skull, whatever. Maybe that's what elves do when they say goodbye to kobold. I don't know. Like you guys are just making all this shit
We're
up.
gonna build a brand, guys. Is what I'm saying. Gonna be on brand. All right.
And Igor's back at his cart now, and he's very kind of he's happy. He's coming to himself in a very like odd, off tune way. Kind of, if you've ever heard like Inuit throat singers, that's essentially the sound he's making.
Oh. Is this meant to be a happy noise?
Oh yeah, he's essentially like purring away to himself, making some very otherworldly sounds. As he's definitely got a lot of troll guts and gore kind of on him, and he's putting various things into jars and shaking them a little bit.
Good for him.
I mean, find your passion in life.
Yeah, it's good to have a hobby. More than that,
I gotta walk past Igor the way you would a child and say like, find anything cool? Like I care, but I don't really care.
Igor's wanted to cut him up for so long.
Do we need to take him back on the wagon with us? We're gonna head to the swamp.
Yeah, let's go.
I want to ask him a question about trolls that will probably keep him talking the whole time. We're just like, okay, so if you cut out his liver that one time, what if you kept cutting pieces out and then put them together? Would you end up with a
You're
whole
talking to him about his Bakugan or whatever?
I wanted to try that, but they wouldn't let me. So I put the liver in an orc. It didn't work out very well though. He started to rot.
Well, but hey, that's another data point, right?
It was neat. They let me stick around to keep poking at him because they thought it was something else.
Well, I tell you what, Igor, you stick with us, we'll give you plenty of dead things to poke around in.
Yeah, you're promising things to two people at once. You can't serve two masters. You got Daryl or Igor, buddy.
I think Daryl's beyond eating our.
He likes the crystal. He took on the crystal.
Yeah,
we got
he's
him hooked on
moved up.
crystal. All right, fine.
Yeah, corpses were a gateway drug. Igor's gonna eat a bunch of crystals and turn into a boat.
He's catamarted.
It's the craziest trip ever. All right, fair enough. Good point.
Let's cheese it.
All right, so you guys are you get in Igor's wagon, and he's like, I've never been through the swamps. My
You
wagon
can toe
doesn't
down the
travel
Igor
well.
You need to. He's gonna be sticking around.
He's committed. I like it.
It's not, he can't be sniveling all the time.
Well, I can always go third person, which is nice. So, yeah, he tells you about the swamps and that the road doesn't actually travel all the way through them, but being an Igor, he's managed to convert his little cart into a. He says he can kind of convert it into a little boat, and that he can convert the horses too. It's not a problem. He's got.
Now that's upsetting. The first part was intriguing. The second part was upsetting.
I mean,
I trust.
we're keeping him around because he solves problems, not because we like his solutions. So.
Ends justified in means. Let's go.
Basically.
All right, then that seems like the best place to head out. Did we? Do we find anything useful in the house, or just like restock provisions from the dead guys and stuff, and refill our arrows and shit?
Yeah, so you basically found like some pretty mundane weaponry there. The one orc captain, or the armored orc that you guys fought in the hallway there, um, looked like he had a little bit better than normal orky gear, but it's still nothing for you guys compared to you guys. It looks like these guys have basically just been here on their own for a little while, got bored, and started beating up kobolds to kind of pass the time.
Yeah, I could imagine
Oh.
somebody saying like, "Hey, we got Igor. He loves fixing them. Let's just fucking fight him with the troll for a while. See what happens."
And yeah, and so Igor basically explains that he'd done a little. He kind of came by as Igor's do, and was interested because he's always wanted a troll to play with. And so they let him do that, and unbeknownst to any of them there, he'd actually replaced. He cut a small part of the troll's liver during a little cutting practice, and then he put that into an orc later. He had to drug the orc to get it done, because he thought maybe that would give the orc regenerative powers. Who knows? However, it kind of started to rot the orc instead, but it kept him alive, and so that kept Igor busy because there was a lot of neat stuff for that. He was making all sorts of different colored pusses and oozes, and shows you a couple of vials. You've got a lot of time to kill on this wagon, so you're trucking along, and Igor is giving you the full brief. He kind of opened up a little bit to Mediator, and now that you guys have said that you're interested, and you gave him the troll, he's really excited about the troll. He keeps showing you bits from the troll. Especially happy with the troll's heart, and every now and then you'll notice the heart actually beats, like very briefly. Not even a beat per minute. It's closer to like maybe every 90 minutes or so. There's a quick little pulse of the heart, and he giggles just about every time.
Just nod my head and stare blankly.
I pretend I'm talking to Bob Dole just so I don't have to look at Igor.
I really like the idea of Mana faking a skull trance. It's like, no, I'm communing with my elder god.
Important conversation.
Just rolling your eyes.
I will call you when there is peace in space.
We got.
I have nothing substantial to ask the Igor on our board.
Yeah, I'm good to
good,
be
man.
in the swamp whenever we're ready.
Actually, I'm gonna run.
Swamp
to that.
time.
Be right back.
Go take a dump.
Would we get a short or long rest while we're in the cart? going to the
Yeah,
swamp?
good question.
Yeah, you'll have a long rest.
Nice. Good call, Bob.
Thank you for reminding me.
Give me those key points back.
Inevitably, I have to recharge my magic armor because I
Let me
have
zoom
been
in.
busted.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
What have you done, Bringer?
I love it. We're in the.
Are we in a swamp or are we in some sort of jungle?
It's a mangrove swamp.
Okay.
Something where things.
It's where the
pop out
mangoes
and, like,
grow, if I understand things.
Somewhere we can like enemies can pop out and grab our legs and drag us under and shit. I love it.
It's fine.
Can make some swamp friends.
Wow. By the way, I just now understood how D&D Beyond's long rest button works.
I'm back.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was just waiting for you to confirm that you did a long rest, and then I had to hit the button. All right.
Yeah, it's so you don't accidentally click it when you shouldn't.
Yeah, I assumed it was so you had time to cancel it. I didn't realize it was making you confirm it. Because it has like a
I
timer.
didn't
Anyway,
know that. Jeez.
Pipe. I don't know if you heard, but we're getting a long rest in the card. So rest up.
Yeah, let me do that because I would also hit that button and not do it correctly,
Yeah.
and wonder. I'm like, oh, it must be doing something else. So I'm not. I guess
Yeah,
I'll
and
go
then I would
reset my hit
manually
points
reset
manually.
my. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
Okay. Well, look how easy that was.
All right.
Which I don't need spell slots and shit, so it's not as big a deal for me. But to manually reset everything would be really annoying. So I'm glad I know that.
All right. Now what?
All right, as you
That
you've been
super
trundling
tiny
for a
corner of
while.
the map.
You've been trundling down this path for a while. The road has been getting progressively muddier, and you've been making worse and worse time. The the growth as you've been going has been getting denser and denser as well. And it's been changing a little bit more to a bit more of a tropical environment here. The air is a lot more humid. There's a lot of flies buzzing around. Um, you hear the ribbit of frogs. Yeah, it's generally a very active, noisy environment. A lot of wildlife keeps happening around you.
Home sweet home.
Now you've arrived. Igor informs you all that you're going to have to basically get out of the cart here. The pathway ahead is basically turns into the turns into basically a path that a person can cross, but definitely not the cart. So Igor's going to have to make some changes here. And as he says that, he's getting out some tools, a couple of wood saws and a bone saw, and he's like, "Should I start with the cart or the horses?"
Oh God.
How about the cart? And then maybe we don't need to modify the horse.
Wait, we can modify the
Nobody's-
horses to make them boats?
That's something he's implying something like that. And I don't know if I want to find out.
No, an easy one.
So he's like, "Well, I never say you should put the cart before the horses." So he walks up behind the horses and just cracks one of them right in the back of the neck with a very firm chop, and the horses drops. And
God.
starts snoring quietly. It's basically got like the ability to knock a horse completely unconscious in a blow, and he repeats that with the second CGI horse.
Just involuntarily laugh really loudly like a sociopath.
And so the two horses have collapsed, and he's like, he kind of goes back into his cart and he starts shuffling around, moving jars around. There's a lot of clamor and commotion. And he's like, Comes out, pulls a couple of long flippered limbs and a bone saw, and moves towards the horses and starts sawing away on
God.
the forelegs of one of the horses. And before you know it, the leg is off, and he's got that set aside, and he's got this weird flippered limb, and he's attaching it to the front of the horse. He goes, "This won't take too long. I've done this before."
So you're making some seahorses?
God damn it.
Wow.
I like that.
Oh yeah, Igor.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
So he's whirring away, like just looks very chaotic but precise. And before you know it, one of the horses is basically amphibious.
I love it.
So I'm just casually asking you, or hey, what happens when we leave the swamp and we need to take him back on land? Could this guy be fixed backwards, or kind of like a one-time thing?
Oh no, horses are practically modular.
You know, most people don't see them that way. It's got an amazing worldview, Igor. Never lose
They're
that
so
sense of wonder.
good. Thank you.
It's another normal day in the swamp.
So
Just
you
gonna
guys are
shrug. I'm
rolling
like,
down.
yeah, He's the expert.
All right.
Just started looking around while Igor is working.
This
There's a
isn't.
lot of
Oh, this isn't the lizard marsh, is it? There's a place.
no. This you guys are just basically like at the sort of the first area, the first place where you're gonna have to toss away the wagon and kind of move through it. So,
Oh, I meant there's a place in never wherever we are on the Sword Coast called Lizard Marsh that is like a known lizard settlement.
yes, there is, and this is not that place. You guys aren't
Okay.
there. That's deeper in the swamps. You could go
I
there.
don't
You could pass
see
through.
myself currently. I don't know if I see a lot of other people.
Get buried under a horse? Or under a mediator?
Where am I on this thing?
I don't know. I'm looking for you. I'll just
Okay.
token over again.
I wasn't sure if I was missing something.
Maybe I didn't draw yours the square big enough. Grab you, dumb guy.
Should probably decide where my lizard came from
Hell.
as we run into other lizards.
God.
Or I have
we go.
amnesia.
So yeah, you're moving through the swamps, and you see a bunch of lily pads to the south that could support somebody's weight, likely. Maybe not Bob Dole. You might have to be a little bit quick or fast to not get wet. The pathway is broken in front of you, and you'd have to get immersed in the water to pass through that.
I'm probably just gonna like sink
There's
into the
a-
water like a crocodile.
There's a log over on the left here.
Just gonna jump in the water because I like swimming.
Okay, roll perception.
Oh, I'm in there too. Perception.
21.
All right, what you thought was a floating log.
It's
God
not.
damn it.
It was
Logo
my
would never
rifle.
make this mistake.
So I didn't jump in the water.
It was actually a floating crocodile.
That's pretty good bringer. I applaud that.
Gotta wrestle him.
You're gonna grapple loose to an alligator and get eaten up. At least Igor is nearby. He'll put
Gonna end up with one gator arm. That gator bitch arm. But I got him back.
But
Are
I
you
also
wearing
point to the alligator. I say, "Hey, we'll kill that alligator. Can you skin him for me?"
All right, roll
Good with a
initiative. Or I guess roll initiative.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Body.
I definitely want to skin that gator, by the way. So try not to incinerate his flesh.
Ooh, 19.
Wow,
Ooh, 20.
great job, Adam.
That started at 2 and then rolled
Yeah,
back.
23.
Yeah, 4.
You guys gonna kill a gator before I can go turn.
Gator's gonna eat me before I get a turn.
I mean, that's definitely gonna happen.
Oh,
Have we
What
succeeded
was-
like on any of our grapple? It's like a cursed throw.
I'm great at grappling.
I'm gonna make an
just
animal
thinking about that guy that
roll
got
to
away
see if I
from us
can
on the
determine his intention.
The intention of the alligator.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I do an insight check?
I was like, I just realized earlier today that I had animal handling I forgot about. And I'm like, when have we ever even met an animal?
I mean,
That
you
wasn't a
dangled a
monster.
piece of meat in front of him. I think I know what his intention.
Well, no.
Yeah,
I
the
have a
only animals that
proficiency.
we've ever met are like
I
those
had to
giant
pick them.
ant things, or
Well, and
We've
all
met
I can
those
do
giant
is,
weasels, yeah.
can you calm down a domesticated animal, keep a mount from getting spooked, or intuit an animal's intention?
Can you calm a horse that just has legs chopped off?
They don't seem bothered by it. So.
Yeah, they're pretty. I mean, he did knock them out, so jungle anesthesia.
You know, you idiots could just get out of the water.
I mean, you know, alligators
That stops
can also
video
get
game
out of the water.
I don't
Just
think it
saying.
stops real life alligators. I mean, we could back off while somebody shoots it with an Eldritch Blast, which is always an option for everything.
I rolled a 2 for initiative, so
Don't worry, I have
Later.
arrows.
Dean Troll's gonna skip across the water lilies and
Not
smash
yet.
it 100 times.
I can't do it yet. This did not happen at the most opportune time.
Look, when I see an alligator, I wrestle.
Do long rests not restore key?
I don't have that ability.
Oh, you can't do. Oh, I meant over the lily pad.
Oh,
which looks
yeah,
like
no,
it's
I
possible
can't. I
for
can't walk on
unlikely.
water yet.
I do look forward to that, though. Yeah.
Well,
You
it's
can
gonna
also
have to
walk-
wait
You can
because
walk on those you can walk on the lily pads.
yeah,
The lily pads would hold your weight.
it's gonna have
It
to
is, or,
wait.
like, any of it.
Pipe, because I have
Anyone.
plans and everyone's gonna appreciate the plans, but it'll take a bit. Don't worry about it. I
All
may
right, go
I
ahead
may
and
multi-class.
I was gonna
Go
say,
ahead
take
and define
everybody
what
take
you're
one
doing.
level of warlock so we can all just.
Yeah, who's
Adam
up
teaches
first?
us all.
I'm up first.
You're up.
Let me do some measurements.
We all give up a little bit of our soul to Adam, and we all get one level of warlock and Eldritch Blast cantrip to Adam's skull. I guess
To the skull, really. I mean, like, I'm just
just the messenger, just the prophet of.
I would like to run and jump over here. I know I'm gonna have to roll for that, but for my
Sorry,
movement,
where are you jumping to?
I'm coming across here. God damn it!
This gap in what
This gap
Okay,
walkway
yeah,
it looks
to
like.
here.
Okay, so you're jumping 15 feet.
right.
I'm going to jump off of the very end, so that would be 10
Okay.
feet.
Sure. Yeah, you can
Jump
you can
into
jump 10 feet
chomping
pretty
range?
easily.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. So give me your just give me a quick acrobatics to make sure that you don't slip on the
That's
kind of grimy pillar there.
a 25.
Yeah, you're fine.
Right.
Yeah, what is? There are rules for that too, right? Long jump.
Yep.
High jump.
Yeah, we went over those last time.
All right.
We did the-
Confused
yeah,
by those.
but like, if you're going, yeah, that's pretty.
So I'm 10 feet from him, so I can't hit him with my quarterstaff, but I can chuck a couple of darts at him.
What if you jumped at him with the horse?
I'm not jumping in the water. I've learned.
Sure,
Come on
you're
in.
digging the water.
Fine.
I'm sure there's nothing else in the water. Why would there be? It's fine.
One alligator maximum in the swamp.
That's the limit.
Yeah, alligators are very territorial.
it's
only one in this area. You have to go pretty far to get to the next one.
It's the rendering limit. All right, so I'm doing 2, and I failed both of them. One of them was a crit fail. I did nothing.
Well, you came over and you got yourself in position to do nothing later, so it's fine.
Yep. Let me narrate that fail real quick. So
Yeah,
I
go for it.
chucked the first dart, and it just kind of plops, or just kind of skims across the water like I'm skipping a stone. Doesn't come close to the alligator at all. The other one slips out of my hand, just falls in the water. And I just kind of look down, sad, and that's it.
Well, all
Small
right,
madness.
you are
As the ripples grow from the fallen dart. All right. I don't want to attack a fellow lizard for no reason, but I
Some
intuit
lizard speak.
intentions are ill. I think he wants to do us harm.
I mean, I didn't attack him, so
Fair point.
Bob Dole's gonna hug him.
I'm gonna look at Bob Dole and be like, "You want to thrash this thing or what?"
I'm gonna hug him.
All
Hug
right.
him with fists.
All right. I am going to move and attack. I'm gonna take a swipe at this gator. Sorry, friend. We kind of need to get through your house, I guess.
Is it your swamp?
As a 16.
that hits. So give me a damage attack.
Great. Oh, damn it. Whoa. That die flew everywhere and landed on that. So I get a
You-
glancing blow, probably, with the axe that doesn't even get through the hide, but just bruises him up a little bit.
Smacks him up a little bit. Yeah, you definitely get his attention. Flojo, your turn.
All right. Let's shoot the fucking thing. Shoot him with my arrows. Double
Get
arrow.
me out of your swamp.
Get me out of your swamp.
Not mine.
Boom, 24.
That's it.
Damn. Those.
I guess you're doing. Are you guys doing 2 attacks? Shouldn't you have 2 attacks, Pipe, as well?
With the move, do I also still get 2? Yeah, I guess I probably should have. I
I
forgot.
never remember if it's.
Pulled his punch because it's a lizard.
That
So I
would have
get
been
two
a.
Well, that
attacks.
misses anyway. So,
Yeah. that's-
so Glojo, I think you also get a second attack. So
Oh, okay. Well, the first one did 8 damage.
Okay.
So let me do that second attack. 21.
that hits.
And that one, the damage on that is 10. So I did 18 total damage.
So you get some pretty good penetration from those arrows. The thing growls pretty fiercely from that. And it's now.
No, I rolled a. You picked up the 15 from when I was convincing those guys to kiss the skull.
Oh, what was
I rolled a
what was
4.
your? You're a 4.
Yeah, I'm like near the end.
Oh, okay.
Same as me.
Doesn't materially change things.
I fucked up.
Wait. Why do I see? I think I saw.
Your
something
metagaming
different.
pipe rifle.
No, don't worry about it. I was looking at. I was looking at who sooner was. I'm like, what am I seeing?
So, as you guys make your first attacks, the tree next to you basically shakes. And what you first all took to be vines now are tendrils.
God damn it.
This enormous creature appears to have been inhabiting the top half of a stump, looking like nothing more than more stump.
It's all scum.
It lashes out with its tendrils and makes a number of attacks.
Oh,
Stump.
what number would that be?
There are
Zero
4
is not
tendrils, and there are 4 tendrils lashing out at everyone but Pipe Rifle.
I was gonna say I'm the farthest away from that.
I mean, does
Just
it
hiding
lash
under
out
the
at me or does it lash out at my?
It's lashing out at the human-sized things.
God damn it.
What's your AC, Adam?
What an interesting question. Something I never have to look up.
And use,
17 for Glojo.
Boarding
my
flare
AC
to give
is
it
13.
It crits on Dole.
disadvantage warding flare.
Okay, it doesn't crit, but it gets a 16.
That still hits. That's not a crit.
It's not a crit. And then it gets another 16 for Monk.
I roll out of the way. Take no damage. My AC is 17.
The tie goes to the die, right? Is that how this
Yeah.
works? Fuck
Yeah.
him, then he hits me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
also that hit.
so he hits the first 3 and then Quill sort of ducks out of the way and the tendril sails over. Adam, Glojo, and Dole, can I get a grapple check?
Grapple? What is a grapple check, by the way?
So your character sheet should have grapple or at least strength on it.
It's a strength or dex save. That's what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Do I pick?
Yeah, you pick.
Yeah, you can pick.
Definitely picking the one that sucks less. Okay.
10.
Aha!
So,
Ooh. You
So
basically
what is it?
roll a d20, adding the bonus of either your strength or your dex. So you'll have like a
Oh,
plus
okay.
2 or
I rolled a
plus 3 or
natural
whatever.
20 plus 2.
Wait, is it a saving throw modifier or the actual modifier?
You were
It's a
making a
contested
dex
saving
check
throw. You're
against
doing a contested saving throw. So
Okay.
a
um,
certain DC that
Strength
brings
is
it out.
+2, so it's still
Yeah.
10.
okay, so Dole, you get one of the tendrils wraps itself around you and lashes you up, and you
Ah.
get grappled by the thing. So you'll have disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws from now on. And what was your save, Lojo?
10.
10? Okay. You're also grappled by this thing. Adam, the tendril smacks you, but
Okay.
you're actually able to escape the attack, and the tendril basically it's too light to do damage. It doesn't kind of lashes around you, but you're able to push yourself free of it.
I love that. I love the drawing.
The
Tendril.
the two of you are grappled by this thing and actually are being reeled in towards it.
Gross.
So, Noah, you find yourself hoisted up out of the water and hauled over here.
No,
And
I want to swim.
Lojo, you are also yoinked over between
By
you.
the tree.
Hey, at least you're not by the gator anymore.
I mean, I fucked the gator up. Things really hurt.
After you are, yes. And then you're pulled in, and Glojo it tries to attack you with its big mouth, which basically it will pull out. The trunk forms a large mouth, and as you're the closest to it, it tries to bite you.
Tree with tentacles. Trantacles.
And
Oh, shit.
it hits you
Christ.
for 25 piercing damage.
Holy shit.
Yowza.
25 or 25%, I thought you said.
25 piercing damage.
Oh, piercing is what you said.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's now the crocodile's turn.
Well,
It's gonna try and tail whip Pipe and then grasp him with its mouth.
I don't care for either of those.
Crocodile use tail whip. It's super effective.
What's your AC, Pipe?
15.
So misses with one, and so it misses with the tail whip, and it hits you with the bite. So I need to get you to do a grapple check, strength check.
Strength. I have advantage on dex checks that I can see coming.
You know what?
Like
That'll
dodging
count
an
too.
arrow or
Let's. Yeah. Okay.
You think? Okay.
I'll let you do a dex check if that's your higher one. It's basically the same.
It's actually not higher. I just get advantage on it because of a barbarian thing. My strength check is higher on the dice.
So you're gonna have to pick which. You're gonna have to
Well,
pick whether you
shit.
try to muscle your way loose of this bite or whether you're dexterous about it. That's up to you.
Since I'm in the water already, I'm not going to try to out dodge the gator. I will just try and keep its jaws open. A Herculean show of strength. That is a failure. Let's see. No, middle of the road. 13.
Okay, take 20 damage and it grapples you successfully.
Arf.
You find yourself pinned by its jaws, taking a pretty chunky bit of damage. It's now Mana's turn.
You gotta die in a swamp, guys.
I didn't get to rage yet. My half damage. I wasn't angry at the gator. I was sad to be wading into the water to fight it.
All right.
I think
now-
that might make you angry now.
Yeah.
My question would be, at this point, just asking the DM to help fill in the picture. Would my character perceive it as more effective to hit the tentacles to try and free my comrades, or the actual tree itself? Like, does it
So
matter?
the tentacles are pretty. Uh, you think they'd be pretty hard to hit. They're pretty thin, and almost like again, you guys thought they were vines to begin with, so they're basically like rope sized, with kind of leafy little growths on them, making them especially camouflaged for this area. Um, but you figure that yeah, it would be much harder to hit them than the other thing.
But after it tried to bite Glojo and like manifested a mouth, we can tell where the base is
All right.
now.
Yeah.
So then I'm basically
Shoot
gonna
at it.
I'm gonna blast it in the face at this point.
Okay.
Gave away your camouflage tree.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to direct both of my Eldritch blasts at its face.
All right.
Double finger guns.
Yeah. It's at 16 for one blast, 24 for the other.
All right, both of those blasts hit the thing. One of them fairly close to off target, but it's a pretty big stump, and you clip it. So give me damage.
All right. So that's one, and that's the other one.
I really hope Dole's checking fireball range when I keep seeing these range counters come out.
Do not worry about it.
What about now with people being grappled?
Yeah, and I'm
You
also
give this thing.
still backing away slightly from this thing, by the way. All right.
This thing, it gives a couple of blasts. You rock it pretty hard. There's a couple of pock marks on its trunky exterior now. Luther, it's your turn.
I reach out with my hand and cast Fireball. I'm gonna throw it behind. I'm gonna throw it back here and try to blunt the blow a little bit, but I gotta set this jug on fire. Gotta set this shit on
You're gonna
fire.
murder Glojo.
Listen, this thing is murdering Glojo. It's fine.
I had 20 hit points, so I hope I don't die.
All right. Roll your. So everybody gets. So yeah, okay. They'll roll saves.
What's the range of fireball?
20 feet.
Oh, all right, I'm fine.
It's just
20
me.
foot radius. Me and
And
Yeah,
Dole
that's not the
himself.
range.
myself and Glojo and
Wow.
the tree.
Everything basic. So basically, everything failed as a fucking save.
Wow, there's a botch in there. A 1.
So go ahead and roll damage.
Do the tentacles save individually?
Yes.
Oh man.
25.
Parade of ones continues.
All of the tentacles are fucking destroyed by the fire blast. You and Glojo drop to the swamp floor.
Flat.
Uh,
Squishy noise.
Everybody get down.
And the fire blast rocks the back half of this thing. Glojo takes no damage because he was practically in the mouth of this thing, and was shielded by it as the fireball sort of wraps around the exterior. The blast and the does take out the tentacle that was holding him, causing him to be freed on the floor. It's smoldering quite a lot. We're not quite on fire from the blast. It doesn't appear to actually be made of wood, just very, very similar to wood in appearance. But it's definitely charred.
Fuck you, tree. Do I take any damage?
No, the tentacle basically is wrapped around you, and your whether it was your god intervening or a careful calculation or pure luck on your behalf, it looks like you're freed from it without any other ill effects.
That's good because I failed my deck save.
It was like still reeling in the slack when the fireball hit. Didn't get a chance to give you a tug.
So basically, your deck save caused you to kind of splat a little bit heavily on the swamp floor, which might have been why the fireball passed over you. You're just a little bit moist right now.
Oh, it stops me from swimming.
Quill.
Okay, what I'd like to do, and you can tell me whether or not I can do this, is jump from where I am onto the back of Lexi, and then off of Lexi. Basically, step on Lexi, and then step on the back of the gator.
Oh, totally could do that. Like I just rearranged. I just rearranged the icons there to better illustrate exactly what's happening.
Yep.
So you could absolutely just kind of skip across him. I'll need an acrobatics check on that, but it's going to be a real low DC.
That's a nat 20 plus 7.
All right. So you're going to do this very. See if you can narrate this out how you like, because you're real good.
Okay, well, since I rolled so good, I'm just going to bypass the whole pipe situation. I take my bow staff, I slam it into the water, touching the bottom of the swamp, and use it basically to pole vault myself onto the back of the whatever it's called, because I know it's not gator.
Like one of those Dutch Canal crossers.
Yeah. I can't get on top of him because of where you put the layer, but I'll just set him here. And so I'm here. And then as I land, I spin in the air, and I come down, and I smack him once two-handed with my bow staff. That's a nat 20.
All right.
Exactly.
I'll show you a picture. I'm not lying.
I got new dice for Christmas, and I sat and rolled them, and it was like 24, 4,
Oh, fuck.
1, 1,
Oops.
1, 1, 8. I'm like, well, nobody would believe that.
I did just accidentally leave roll 20. Hold on.
Happens all the time with
And
my
I'm back. Okay.
side button on my mouse.
Yep, that's what happened.
Can't figure out.
So for my first hit, that's
Need a better gaming mouse.
Hey, this is the Proest $11 Amazon mouse you can buy.
so first hit does 19 damage. It's 8 for my first roll, 7 for my second, plus 4. So 19 damage. I'm assuming that doesn't kill him.
No, it doesn't kill him.
Okay.
But it's,
My second hit is a 16.
That hits.
Okay. And that just does 5 damage.
There's quite a lot of crocodile blood in the water right now.
Hope there's no
its
small
jaws
sharks.
its jaws are firmly clamped onto the pipe rifle still, or Lexi rather.
I was going to ask if I got freed, but oh well.
But,
I'm not done yet. Then
okay, keep going.
Then I punch him.
Mm-hmm.
Just wailing on a fucking alligator.
And that's a
Hell
15
yeah.
plus 7.
Some Kung Pao lunacy.
So that's a
All right, now the
23.
alligators gotta explode.
Sorry, I had to get a different dice out. God damn it, I'm rolling ones after I rolled that fucking 20. That's 5 damage again. And that's all I got, because I don't want to burn a key point on the first thing that we fight.
Oh, we have a much bigger
I'll go
target
sure
behind.
fireball the hell out of it.
It's
Never hold back.
It's reeling, but it's still got pipe rifle firmly in its grasp. Speaking of, it's now pipe's turn.
All right. Well, for my first action, I would like to enter a frenzied rage because of all of the bullshit.
And I'm like, this whole time I'm whacking it in the head that's embedded in you. I'm sure that didn't feel good.
Yeah. Just, ow, ow. All right. Lexi's getting upset. So with grapple, I would have to spend. So that's my bonus action. It's get angry, and then I think I have to spend my action to try again to break out. Is that how it works?
So you're restrained right now, which means you have 0 speed and you can't do anything. You can't move, basically.
Yeah.
Attack
So I
rolls
can-
against you have advantage. So the next time it tries to attack you, it will have advantage. And your attacks have disadvantage.
Okay, so I could
You
try
also
to
have-
free myself
Yeah.
by murdering it at disadvantage, or
Yeah,
I can use my action to try to escape. Right.
right. But at this point, I would think that you're less likely to escape, more to go all in on
Well, yeah, with
On
the
it.
rage and whatnot.
with all of the ferocious raging,
All
etc.
right, can I use my regular weapons? I don't want to negotiate against
Yes.
myself, but okay. I'm not going to fuck around with my.
Yeah, he's basically got he's got a good grip around you, but your hands are free and you can swat away. It's just he's kind of awkward because of the way that he's positioned you, which is why you have disadvantage.
There you go. That makes sense. All right, then I am going to take an attack or two. So let me just roll.
Do you get 3 attacks because of your
Not this
majesty?
turn, because one would be a bonus action, but this time I used that bonus action to enter the rage. And
Well, both
frenzy
of those attacks hit.
after.
So
Oh no, that was disadvantage. I was rolling
okay. So one of those hits.
the first
yeah,
one, I guess. Yeah.
the first one. Yeah, and
then
you still hit.
And a 16 and 21 pair. So the 16. I
16
guess the
hits.
16 hit both.
So
then-
you
All right.
smack him twice.
Huzzah.
Despite the awkwardness of it, you get some good accent in.
Maybe I could
The
spin it
axe or
around in
something.
my hands, and it's more like sawing. Like I'm able to move at the elbow, so I'm just chopping through an onion or something.
Yeah.
Not quite chopping wood.
putting pressure on him with your big axe, essentially.
Yeah. All right.
Forcing
well,
it further into him.
Oh wait, no, I
That's
get bonus on that. That's
You get another
another
2 on
plus
that,
2.
right?
Yeah. I was using
That's
the reroll.
17.
17, and then another one is 12.
Wow.
So a total of 29.
All right, this thing better not have like 100 hit points.
This thing is reeling. It's practically dead. Pipe Rifle's attack has basically I would say unhinged its jaw, but he's mostly been just cutting into its face with the axe, kind of going you want a piece of me, have a piece of this.
Well, yeah, I'm
how do you like them axles? I don't know.
If the jaw is open, if I'm inside, I'm well, if I just cut away the top of the head, then I can just stand up and I won't be being bitten anymore. Take the top jaw off. That might be the brain part too, but okay. Just cutting straight down at the head.
So it is. Yeah, there's a lot of blood in the water, and not very much of it is pipe rifles at this point.
Well, that first bite was pretty tough. That was a third of my health.
Glojo, go ahead.
I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on this stupid shit tree thing because I hate it.
That's fair.
Me too.
And then I'm gonna shoot it with my bow. See if I can murder it. If it takes, can be murdered by a bow. Hate that tree.
Tree's a bitch.
Hate that tree.
Hate all trees though. So that's,
2 shots.
That's the main thing.
First one's a 13. Second one's a 19.
So the first shot misses. Second shot hits. Wait, why did?
So I get.
Is that with the Hunter's Mark, or does that just add more plus?
That just adds more
That gets
damage.
his +8.
That's a damage.
No, the Hunter's Mark gives me another 1d6 damage roll.
Oh,
okay.
So if I would have hit both, I would have had 4 chances at damage instead of
I
2.
thought the mark helped to hit. Well,
No, it marks the target for more damage. It's just a debuff, basically.
yeah.
Oh
That
god.
only applies to you.
Well, roll for damage then.
So the first is a 4. Fantastic. The second is a 1. Wow, these are great. These are good rolls.
Oh,
Good roll.
Still more
4
arrows.
1, 5 damage.
So even Legolas missed the shots when the camera wasn't on him.
It looks like you were maybe a little startled by getting reeled in and then chomped on, and then a fire ball freeing you from it. But you still managed to plant a couple of arrows into it, but they missed the mark as far as critical damage goes. Um, more acting as little pin cushions on it than piercing its enormous eye or mouth, um, which is now going to try to. And it's now its turn.
I really like that visual now that I think about the fact that each one of these turns is a couple of seconds, right?
Um, as it's sitting there, the tendrils basically regrow, and there's a number of spines extruded from it.
A bitch.
Lashes out, trying to grapple the three closest enemies. It doesn't seem to be interested in what's happening in the swamp at this point.
Or an Igor and Mediator.
Igor's basically busy down behind the horses still. He's sawing away.
Not noticing that this.
He's not particularly concerned about this. He's an Igor. He's seen shit. Mediator is just enthralled by all of the doodads and organs and various things.
Does he hear the fucking fireball explosion?
Worthless.
Look, if he didn't learn to sleep through a few fireballs, he'd never get some rest with this party.
Adam, what's your AC? Is it 15?
13.
So that hits you. That misses Glojo. And that, I assume, hits on Dole.
Does.
All right. Make saving throws. Adam and Dole.
All right. What was that one again? Let's see here. Dex.
Roll the 5. It's fine. Bring me back in.
It brings you back in.
I got another fireball.
Give us a hug. We'll do this again if we got it.
Did it get me, Bringer?
No, you again slip out of it, Adam.
I'm slippery.
You are a very slippery elf. And as it hauls you in this time, Dole, and it tries to maul you with its mouth.
I'm gonna use warning flare to give it disadvantage again.
Jurassic Park just setting off flares right in its face. For the opposite reason, I guess.
So it hits.
Sure does.
17, and then does 24 piercing damage.
Ow. Can I use 2 reactions in one attack? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. I take 24 damage.
Okay. It's the Trompodile's turn.
Quit chomping me,
It's
bro.
gonna try to lash at Quill with its tail and continue to bite on Pipe Rifle.
Why must you chomp me, brother? We need not fight. We are not enemies.
Roll
That's
for
not
a
a
field
dice.
race.
You're not yourself, Proto-Man.
That hits. Bringer.
You were the
All right.
chosen one.
So then I'm gonna roll for attack on Pipe. Pipe, roll for so you're still grappled, so you can't escape right now.
Yeah, but I am enraged, which at least
Halves
will
that
help
damage.
resistance, whatever it is.
It's piercing damage. So
Okay. While I'm in his mouth, I got so mad that my skin hardened, I guess.
basically,
Oh, you got hard. Great.
Then it does 12 bludgeoning damage to
Quill.
Quill, and it's going to do. I'm rolling for your damage now, Fight.
Oh, okay. I missed the.
My bird bones.
I just did the attacks damage, so it does 10 damage to you, Fight.
Okay, that's what
After your resistance.
Yeah. I thought one of these old rolls, one of the other 20
Hashtag
rolls was
resistance.
damage, so I was already doing.
So did I. At first, I was like, wait, no, I did that as an attack. I confused myself. So, Adam, your turn.
I'm
Okay.
very chomped.
I'm gonna floor all of you guys with what my warlock is gonna do here. No one is gonna see this coming.
Is it an Eldritch Blast?
No. 2 Eldritch
Play the
Blasts.
hit.
All right, that's one blast.
Are you shooting the tree?
I'm clearly shooting the tree in the face.
Yeah, okay.
So
Both of those
two
hit the
hits.
tree.
Yeah, the gator is their problem. Worry about the people.
The gator with 100 hit points is their problem, yes.
The gator is almost dead anyway.
It's gotta be like 9, 10 dead.
The gator has like 90 hit
good
points.
damage. 22.
Yeah.
Solid damage.
I stopped using my free monster manual one day the security certificate expired. And I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. Like one day I get a warning.
Couple more
Plus,
pop
you know,
marks
metagaming.
appear in this thing, and it's the fake leaves on the tendrils appear to droop a little bit as the 2 Eldritch Blasts resonate through it. Lucas.
Well, I seem to be in the same position I was the last time I shot a fireball, so I don't think I'm gonna shoot my other fireball. It didn't seem to have helped much. I mean, I heard of it. I'm gonna try to grab the tendril that's holding me and say, I learned this one in my funny cult, and cast Inflict Wounds on it.
Okay, roll for an attack.
Yeah, it's a melee spell attack. Okay.
Or a grapple, I suppose. Or an unarmed attack.
Shit, what's my melee fucking modifier? Wait, this should say. 14.
You are not able to grab the tendril as it's sort of writhing and moving around you.
Cool, I'm dying.
But you wish you kept that fireball.
Should have done a fireball.
Would have solved the tendril problem. I mean, maybe.
Quill, your turn.
Alright, gonna whack this stupid thing in its head again.
Alright, that's fair.
We're gonna be there to help in just a minute.
That's a 15.
That is a hit.
Okay. And then for damage on that, that is a. Is that right? Is that roll the right dice? Yeah. 8.
That actually manages to kill this fucking thing.
Okay.
You bring your staff down onto its skull, and its eyes roll up into its head, and the jaw goes slack and releases pipe rifle.
Ugh, thank God. The only good lizard's a dead lizard, right? High five.
So it's 40 feet to get to where this thing is, but I wouldn't say this is not difficult terrain. Would you allow me to get to it?
The first bit is difficult terrain, but what I will do is I will allow you to make an acrobatics roll to cross the gap between pipe rifle's back and the pier there. Instead of making it difficult terrain for you to cross it, I'll let you do acrobatics.
Okay. I'll roll for acrobatics to get there. That is a 12.
So you're a little bit you lose a bit of a step coming off of pipe rifle. He's a bit slick with blood. Son of a bitch.
It happened.
So you're only able to go 35 feet. Which I
Okay, so I can get here, which was... So I can get to... Fuck. Here?
Yeah, you can basically get to there. You can't get to down here.
Okay.
You can get right beside the wall.
Okay, but I can attack from where I am, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my second quarterstaff attack... Where the fuck is my dice? There it is. Alright, and... That is a 18.
Hits.
All right, and I'm attacking the body proper. That, and then for damage, that's a 9, and I'd like to expend a key point to stunning strike.
Okay. Now it's gonna roll resist.
It's a DC 14, but I always forget con. Con!
God damn it! I didn't even do this.
Cheer con.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
You your attempt to stun the tree is resisted. As you do yell con in velocity.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand that.
You hit it with wood. It's what it's made of. You can't hit it with wood.
I have another attack. Yeah, it's melee weapon. Okay, I unarmed strike.
Okay.
And that's 18 plus 7, 25.
Okay.
And that is 7 more damage.
It teeters as you strike it again. The blow kind of vibrates up the trunk. It's not quite dead, but it is very wobbly now. It's kind of swaying, almost as if there's a unseen and unfelt breeze that's only affecting this one tree. But Griffin, your turn.
I really like the idea that Beam's gonna punch that tree to death.
I mean, I could have popped Flurry of Blows, but I didn't know how damaged he was, and I don't want to burn every key point I have.
I can just move that far. Maybe. No, I can walk.
Yeah,
40 feet.
you swim well though too, so I think you can
Yeah.
swim 30 or some shit. So
yeah,
I'm not
I
going to count this as difficult terrain for you as you are an amphibious motherfucker.
Yeah, and I was a wet bird if I would have went that way.
Well, and this is.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can go 40, so call that 30, even if it was difficult. So yeah, if
you're
I
good.
can move up and take a swing,
You can do that. Yeah.
I will do those things. Like, all right, tree problems, huh? Well, you should have brought in an axe ahead of time.
Let me ask you something.
Let me axe this tree.
Your first blow hits,
Multiple
and
questions.
both of your strikes hit this tree firmly.
Fuck the tree. Chop it down.
Roll for damage.
Chop. That's a 15. Ooh. Oh wait, no, that was the thing moved. That was not a d20. I'm using the re-roller, and it advanced ahead of.
Well, you did get it with a
12.
15 and a 12, so you do a solid 27. You swim across the swamps in a.
I think I could actually do a third if I needed to, because I'm still in the frenzy.
You know what? Roll a third one.
Why not? So it's a really quick swim. Oh well.
And the third one misses, but you do
flies
come
up.
over and you hack this thing, almost as if you were possessed by the spirit of some lumberjack, and you hack like a chunk out of this thing, and the tottering that beam troll that induced in it kind of causes it to just collapse against this missing wedge, and the thing sprawls down, and the tendrils holding Bob Dole goes completely limp, and he's able to step out of it.
Yeah.
The other
I did
tendrils
it.
likewise are drooping against the forest floor now. It's dead.
I think I would. So in my mind, he's like prying himself. You pry out of the alligator mouth, and I swim across. Like there's blood everywhere, just freaking out, super frenzied the whole time. Hacks some tendrils out of the way, just starts chopping at the tree branch, and then just keeps chopping at the tree until somebody has to like let him know it's dead. Like, hey man, hey, it's cool.
So the end of combat music isn't really heard by you. So every time you get your axe free, you're going through this log. There's blood going kind of everywhere.
Oh yeah, there's
or
maybe after
Igor
a while I
essentially.
realized that there's it's guts. I'm like, oh right, it's not a tree that I have to like chop all the way through. It's a monster that's dead. It's like, all right, eventually calm down.
It's most of the way through by the time you make this realization. But yes, it's firmly dead.
Oh shit, I've been doing this wrong. Sorry.
All right. And I have used a rage. I have to go through and check because now I have a level of exhaustion from frenzying.
Igor pops up from behind the wagon here. Uh, having noticed kind of the quieting down of the commotion, and goes, "Oh, very very interesting. I haven't seen too many of those. Can Igor have some?"
What was it actually, Igor? Do you know what it's called, or is it just a big crazy tree monster?
It's an asshole.
There's many names for it. There's different kinds of ropers, and some of them are trees, and some are stone, and they like to pull things in and eat them.
Oh, kind of like mimics. We know a little something about that. Wink, I say out loud.
Wow. Real.
Igor doesn't get subtlety, so I don't think he would get non-subtlety either, really.
It's tree of
Igor says, it didn't look like you winked there, Master. I can help you. And then he blinks, but you notice that he blinks with like a second pair of eyelids, not the ones that you ignore.
No, I'm good, buddy.
Got back.
I would show him my alligator bite. Be like, you think this will heal on its own? I mean, I'm usually pretty tough. Do I need stitches or anything? Just like giant bleeding wounds in the torso.
Everyone who's hurt, get around me. I'm going to do prayer of healing.
Oh,
Cool.
that's
A
handy.
10 minutes casting spell. Everyone within 30 feet will heal 2d6 plus 3. I mean 2d8 plus 3. Let me roll it.
So we kind of sneak back like behind the wagon, shelter from the rest of the swamp, and have a little prayer circle. Pre-game huddle before running back in.
Everyone does 10 minutes, heals 10 hit points.
Thanks. Thank you. I forget. Does a short rest let you spend?
How much am I rolling?
Short rest is an hour.
I rolled for everybody. Yeah, you just get 10 hit points back.
Oh,
Thanks,
I was an
Will.
expert. Never mind.
That's nice.
I tell Igor, by the way, I remind him I wanted to save the skin off the alligator. I asked him. Get it.
No, I could wade back out into the water and haul
Yeah,
the
drag
alligator
it in.
corpse in. Just like, I'll go get it for you. Take a couple of teeth
I'm
for
gonna make like a
trophies.
sick alligator.
Just have a fucking like a bowling bag for the skull, but it's made out of studded
Skull,
alligator.
yeah, skull pouch.
This is my clutch. This is my skull bag. I never go anywhere without my skull. You understand?
Oh yeah, I jump back into the swamp and swim around because I want to swim.
God damn it.
Fucking
Crack one
tree
monster.
interrupted me.
Get cleaned off in some swamp water. Clean off all the monster blood and human blood. Or other lizard blood, I guess. My pro-human
Lizard
bias is showing.
So Igor goes to town on the as soon as you bring the crocodile to shore. Igor goes to town on it. It's very chaotic, but very productive. There's a lot of blood going everywhere, but before you know it, the alligator is completely skinned, and Igor has folded up the crocodile hide and basically presents it to you in a little stack about a foot high and foot high and a foot wide.
You're all right, Igor.
Red Dead Redemption style.
And then he runs over. He goes, "Can Igor have some of the ropes?" And he points over at the tree monster, which is again mostly cut in half.
Hell yeah.
Does it revert to any kind of form like a mimic does, or does it stay looking like a tree?
No, so it just looks like a tree. It looks like it's whatever its thing.
So it's more like it has evolved to look like that, not it's a shapeshifter.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, what you should have said is make like a tree and get out of here.
So Igor runs over and he's sawing away happily, and he comes back with the 4 unhurt regrown tendrils down to like sort of their root bulbs. He kind of goes, 18 inches deep or so into the beast to extract whatever the tendrils hinged on, and it's kind of come back with him, sort of folds it up and throws them into a jar and gets out a couple of other jars and starts mixing the fluids in those jars together, and then pours all of that concoction into the jar with the tendrils, which sort of begin floating in a neutral buoyancy, and he seals that up happily.
I always wondered where magic shops got all their fucking troll fingers and dragon scales and apparently roper bulbs for weird spells and shit, but I guess you need people like Igor out there. Takes all kind.
Igor.
I appreciate the harvester instinct, although I just take like a chunk of gator meat from the skinned gator and be like, a little more practical about it. Fucking Garfield lasagna throwing meat into my mouth. The gator. Teach you to fucking bite me, I'll bite your ass. Really angrily eating.
Calm down.
Igor kind of giggles a little bit, and slices off a big chunk of the gator. Does a quick little motion at his mouth, and then starts roasting the gator over a jar. Again, corks a jar, which basically starts igniting immediately, and he starts roasting this little crocodile bit over that. And he smiles at you with a new set of teeth, which are much, much sharper than the original pair that he'd been wearing previously.
That's nothing strange about that.
I appreciate someone who uses every part of the animal.
Let's just be careful we don't endanger us later.
Well, we tend to like leave weapons with everyone we meet and just hope that it never comes back to us. So why wouldn't Igor get new and exciting upgrades? Daryl has really advanced in his brief time with us, so why shouldn't Igor?
I love that we're just upgrading our companions.
Well, we ourselves haven't found a lot of significant treasure, but what I like is that our trash is very valuable.
For yourself, bitch.
Well, yeah, you found the greatest treasure of all.
Friendship?
Yes, exactly. Friendship with a great old.
Friendship is magic.
Spooky but true.
All right, so you
Upsetting.
guys, are you guys having a small rest here, or are you just doing the magic ritual, hacking off some gator meat, and that's about it?
I just did the
I could
healing
really
thing for 10 minutes.
use a rest. I still am down 20 hit points.
I mean, do we want a short rest?
Yeah, I'm
short
down.
Do a short rest.
That mattered to me.
All right, yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, I mean, I meant while Igor's skinning and cooking and doing all this, cleanup shit with the corpses. Let's call that an hour.
Let's
right?
short rest.
Yeah.
Rest
Let's do
against the
short
wagon.
rest. You can do your short rest. Igor's sort of doing
Use
that.
2 hit die.
You're having conversations and such with him, various people. You have an hour to make this all happen. So
How does D&D Beyond not roll the hit die for you?
No, you have to do it.
Just tells you that it resets your abilities and shit if you've been checking the boxes, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
For
that's
13 more hit points.
4. Thanks, D12.
I rolled a 2 3 consecutive times.
That's all right. I get 7.
Some good shit. Oh well. 12 hit points, almost full health.
I guess I could say I spent another. Nah. I'm living honestly and true with my D&D lifestyle now. No more monstrous compendium. I'm gonna hit the bathroom.
All right. So you guys finish your short rest, and
That doesn't
Igor is
equal
basically
that.
Igor's converted the cart into basically a little boat. You're not quite sure how he managed to get all the wheels off. He never asked for help; it just sort of happened. And the horses are some kind of terrible mer horse combination of alligator legs and horse legs, and but he assures you that this will work.
I trust him.
Jeez. Time to start us wrong yet.
All right. Are we ready to move into the swamp?
I mean,
Go looking
as
for
long as no one
Shrek.
stomps on alligator.
Go find Shrek's house.
I guess I'm gonna swim up and climb up onto this board. Be like, I guess we can use the walkway for the rest of this. People built it for a reason. We should respect their craftsmanship.
All right, so you guys are moving forward into the old swamp pen.
I did not hear any objections to that idea.
Yeah.
But nobody.
Yeah, time to find Shrek.
I'm letting others lead
So
the way.
Daryl's basically crawled inside of, or not Daryl. Igor has
What?
basically crawled inside of the tree trunk enemy at this point. He's got to cut it hollowed out somehow, and he's kind of busy exploring it. And he says, "Okay, you need to make sure the way is safe. Igor will figure this thing out."
All right.
I'm gonna really teach you about when people normally laugh, Ego. Just, I like that you're making an effort.
You do you, Igor.
Igor.
Can't make fun of Igor. We don't know how much of his stuff is intentional. How much of his whole deal.
So it looks like the swamp is quite deep to the north where that submerged crocodile had been. You see another crocodile. This one looks a little smaller and is weaker than the first one, sunning itself near the lily pads to the south. And then there's dense bushes on the island that you'll have to cross if you go this route.
Who's leading the way?
So we can go the dense bush route or the alligator route.
Right.
I mean, one of those on its face sounds better, but maybe it's
Does
a
it?
devil you
We can
know
just
situation.
kill the alligator from.
Can I do a perception check on the island in front of us? See if I see anything moving out of the ordinary.
Yep.
Fuck. That's a 12.
Can I also do a perception check?
You see a frog.
Oh shit!
Shit. It's one of those.
Kill it! Kill Fireball!
Might be,
It doesn't appear to be any kind of particular threat. That's actually part of the frog.
Can I also roll perception to see if I
Outside
can
of
see
yucky.
anything on the island?
Sure.
All right. I rolled a 10. Do I get to see
You
another
see the
frog?
same frog.
Cool frog.
all right.
It's just sitting there. It looks like it's feasting on some insects.
if we've stopped and we're like, okay, which way do we go? Then I guess I would also be making a perception check. Because we're scanning the horizon or whatever.
Well, it's more of a, do we go to the known danger down here, or do we go to the possible danger over here?
I love unknown danger.
Well, I scoped that island the best I've ever scoped anything. How's that island look? From
You see a frog.
Yeah, how's that frog?
Now there's 3 frogs.
HD.
You survey the island and you notice there's some footprints in the mud at the edge of the trail ahead of Luther. Footprints look like lizard footprints, lizard folk footprints. You recognize them, but they're not yours. You're pretty sure.
Yeah. I would relay that to people. I'd be like, people have been here. Kind of the way we're going looks like lizards, like me, but someone else.
As in like
We're
a
on the right
sentient
trail.
race of lizard type rifle.
Yeah, walking around like me, not. You know what it would like me, but a different one. I don't know
So
if
in other
they're
words, we
getting
can't
the
blast
idea.
them because they
Oh well, I
are
see what you
lizard people
mean.
usually bad. I asked the person.
I don't know. How do you feel about humans? Kind of like in general, it's sort of a tough question. They're people, maybe good, maybe bad. I don't know. What did the kobolds say? Something they're arming the lizard. What did we find in the house with the kobolds?
Yeah, they were
arming
arming
lizard folk. Rebellion coming, but I don't know. Maybe they're rebellion against something bad.
Yeah, maybe
we
they
just-
were arming them against. We're going to against.
Arm them against Saltmarsh. It's good.
I attempt
if
to
you're
pet the
asking
frog.
me to shoot first when we see these lizards because will they be hostile? I think it's more that you'll know very quickly. We'll find out pretty quick. Don't shoot before giving us a chance to talk. But
Preemptive strike.
All our talking has always worked out well for us, so I see no issues.
well, if it has worked or not worked, we've known very quickly. That's my overall point. It doesn't
I'm
hurt
being completely
anything to try.
sincere.
Yeah, it's true. I still think it was worth trying in all those cases. And then firing eldritch blasts and arrows.
I move
So you
forward.
get to the island and you begin moving forward. It's definitely slow progress. There's a lot of tangled up terrain here. The island is very dense. The footprints appear to go along the southern edge of the island. The slight beach you can
Your headset's getting real faint.
All right. So you are able to see along the beach there where the footprints led, and you see some lizard dudes.
Ooh, from going a little south.
I'm attempting to be
react-
stealthy. Oh,
They
shit.
react harshly and go and hiss at you. Seeing only a couple of you, they immediately rush forward to attack.
Oh well, that answers that.
Wow.
I'm gonna pull up my axe and say that out. Well, that answers that.
So
Take
we're
it.
gonna stop where we are here, and I'm gonna roll initiative for these folks.
I'll start blundering into the dense growth. Somewhat stealthily.
Hey, maybe
Just
you'll
looking for more frogs.
You'll get the element of surprise. Flank.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
As you lead with flank.
Oh, good.
Are we doing new initiative, or is Bricker just
Um,
rolling for the new?
You guys can roll new initiatives too. Yeah, everybody roll initiative.
7 is better than 4.
16 is better than 4.
5.
To be a lizard person.
Oh, 4. I'm so glad you guys were throwing so much shit at
Take
4.
my 4. You can have my 4.
Anybody who gets a 4 is a real dumb shit, they say.
Those fucking
That's
losers.
why I got a 5.
I'm rolling hot on these initiatives.
Good thing they have, 30 feet. Probably not a lot of distance to close now that I look at it.
All right, well, what did you get, Bean?
12.
All right, well, I guess these guys get to go first.
I mean, we did just have a big fight not that far away. They probably heard us.
They were a little bit prepared for it. They just were hoping you would not come this way. So this guy runs up and takes a swing at you.
No. Rude. Oh, and I'm not enraged anymore. This combat ended. Nice full damage attack. What every barbarian loves.
So he tries to swing at you with his javelin, and then he's going to try to also bite you.
I can't blame you for any of this. It's what I would have done.
They both have the same attack roll, so he gets you with his javelin, but not the bite, I assume. He gets a 19 on the javelin.
What's a critical miss on a bite? Say he bites his javelin.
It still hits you, though.
He goes to bite, but he ends up biting the back of the javelin that he just stabbed me with. Like, oh, right, I messed up the order. It's going to chop you and then stab.
He gets a poke of 3 from the javelin, and the bite basically is going to give you an advantage on your attack roll. He basically left himself very vulnerable with that poorly aimed chomp.
Okay. Take that. Like it's my turn anytime soon, so see what his buddies do in the meantime. And what my buddies do.
Bringer, you're on mute.
Or doing something else.
Thank you. Good catch.
Oh, no.
This guy steps forward to here, looks this way, and
What the hell is that thing?
Oh, that's a big lizardman. I'm gonna kill him and take his icon.
then he casts a spell to make the ground begin to turn into spikes. The vines on the ground begin to writhe in this area. The area will now become difficult terrain, and to travel through it will take 2d4 piercing damage per 5 feet. So,
ouch.
A couple of you are trapped inside of this.
Can you draw the?
Yeah.
If it's a line. Do not cross. LCE take damage.
I have to move this. It's not where
That circle?
Yeah, so there's the area on the edge of the island here and kind of protruding into the bushes is now covered in spiky growths. Basically on the ground, kind of lying as a trap. So anybody that moves inside of that circle, every 5 feet you move, you will take damage from it.
What a dick move. Yeah.
That's okay.
Since they are growing, do we have a chance to get out before they become spikes that will injure us, or are we going to take damage at the start of next turn because we're in it? Maybe me.
You'll have a chance to do a saving throw before it kicks in. So Pipe, you might be able to dive out of it. The rest of you will probably have to get entangled by at least a 5-foot piece to extract yourselves. It is now this big fucker's turn. And he dives into the water and disappears.
Oh, that's a thing.
Good for him.
Nope, see ya. He's definitely not coming back.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Fletcher just assumes anyone who disappears stole a boat and fled the scene, because that's what he would do.
That character is gone. I don't know. This character.
He will come back, I hope, in a dramatic fashion.
This guy rushes forward, but he's kind of a dumbass, and he rushes into the vines in his attempt to get to my rifle.
I was going to say, this is kind of like Mediator in the Webs. Like, this guy casts his first move as a restrictive action that mainly will stop his teammates from getting all the way to the fight.
Yeah, so he's taking some damage from the growths immediately slash up at him. He yowls and then tries to club the pipe rifle and bite at him at the same time. And this time, it looks like he connects.
Jesus Christ. I didn't get enough health back for this shit.
Yeah.
I spent more hit dice.
That's a big number.
Bite does 4 damage, and then he clubs you with his club to do 8 damage. So you take an overall 12 damage from his assault.
Okay. We're doing fine. We're at about half. It's all right.
This guy turns, and he's kind of moving through the underbrush, which is dense, and he only makes it to here. It's Luther's turn.
Oh, God.
Skip to my loot.
Does he need to take a saving throw?
No, if he doesn't
Okay.
move, he can basically just like stay exactly where he is, and the vines around him won't trigger it. Like they're basically like a bunch of like little snap vines and things like that that'll kind of jump at you if you move too close to them. But if you just sort of stay still, they won't.
Stay as still as much as I possibly can, and
Stay as still as Goliathly possible.
I will let loose my last fireball in the sort of area in the triangle between these 3 lizard men. I'll make it just far enough away so it doesn't hit pipe rifle murder.
That would be handy, but, not necessary. If it comes right down.
My pressure would light you up.
Lexi's ready to go. He's had a good life. Did a lot of stab.
Yeah, you can definitely make that shot. So you can just put it back where I was like hovering that thing from.
All right, I'll put it there. Make all those jabronis make their save.
All right, from left to right. Guy gets a 16. That's a save for the little guy. Next guy gets a fail. Bigger guy, fail. Guy in the back gets a save.
All right.
Holy shit.
So the ones that failed take full damage. The ones that save take.
Holy shit! Okay, so you obliterate a couple of these guys. The one of the guys in front of Pipe Rifle just falls over. He takes the full 31 damage and just turns basically to ash, and drops over. The other one made the save and takes 15 damage, and is significantly charred. There are chunks of bone showing up as the muscle has actually been melted away, but it's still alive. The big guy in the back there with the shield takes the full 31 damage, and is basically a walking corpse at this point. There's almost nothing left of him. Somehow he's still alive. Maybe the shield prevented the fire from torching him completely, but he's floppy.
Suck it.
And the spellcaster in the back, the shaman, is significantly burned from this as well, but he passed it. He made his save, so he doesn't die. But yeah, that was a very effective blast.
And part of the island is now on fire.
There's some smoldering in the trees here, as the fireball kind of. There's a little bit of quiet sort of on the world here. All of the birds and insects that you could hear previously kind of stopped from the massive clap of the explosion of the fireball here. It's the monk's turn now.
Okay, let's see.
Good thing we don't have any druids. They would be really upset at our treatment of nature in general.
I almost was a druid, but this was a more fun character.
It is working out great, too. If we haven't said that yet this round. Love that rate.
When the caster cast the stupid thing that we're standing in, did he speak a spell or no?
I will double check that.
Okay.
This is the part of the game where Bringer tries to figure out what we're trying to do so he can figure out how to try to stop.
No, because we kind of play fast and loose with spell components.
Yeah.
So.
Is there another?
It was a druid spell that does not require components.
So it was verbal. It would have a V next to it.
Has a C next to it.
C is concentration.
Yeah, VSM.
Okay.
For component.
Yeah, so that's verbal something and something else. But yeah, okay.
That's somatic and material, isn't it? One's
Yeah,
waving
yeah,
your hands.
that's right.
You also have to.
Yep.
So there is a material component.
Although we play fast and loose with that, so.
But
yeah, it actually takes
It's
7
never
sharp thorns or 7 small twigs.
Right.
But he's metal. He's got a pocket full of sticks.
It's got some twig.
Yeah.
Got a couple.
I am gonna burn key and cast silence on the mage dude, that guy. There's no save, so he just can't hear anything in there, and he can't say anything in there. It's a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range, which is 120 feet. Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage, and creatures are deafened while inside. Casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible there. And I can cast it, basically I'm casting it directly on him.
Nice. Good use of silence. It worked.
It
Maybe
works. He is
sometimes
silenced.
Other anti-magic.
This guy appears to be more of a lizard shaman or a lizard druid.
Yeah,
He's kind of got some twigs and draped around him in a necklace, and a couple of small like little bird skulls on it as well, and things like that. And now he is no longer able to do anything.
So that's one action. My second action, I'm just going to flick a dart at this guy's still alive, right?
Yeah, very slightly.
Okay, I'm gonna flick a dart at him. And that is a 15 plus 7 for 6 damage. I assume 22 hits.
Yeah, that does.
Yep, 6 damage.
It has 1 hit point remaining.
Alright, I'm not going to try and move. Sorry, Pipe. I don't want to die on my way to get to you to kill him, and I don't have anything else I can do. I can't punch him from here.
Adam, it's your
We
turn.
got a lot of ranged attacks
All right.
between me and his turn and my turn.
So, can I move freely over this?
Yeah.
All right. Then what I'm gonna do is because
You can also move onto the pads. The pads are available as well to walk on.
I mean,
Isn't there a gator over to the left?
there's a gator over there that I'm not interested in talking to.
Go pet the gator.
Just
Alright.
ignore us, befriend the gator, and leave.
So I'm gonna back up so that the amphibious guy has a harder time whenever he wakes up and gator chomps someone. I do not want to be that person. Good luck, Mojo.
It's fine. I have plans.
But in the meantime, that still leaves me plenty of range to Eldritch Blast some people. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the guy that the one hit point guy, and I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the other guy with the shaman in the back. So this is the first one. This is next to pipe rifle. All right, that's a hit.
Good.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume
Time for
I mean, there's
critical
literally
one.
no way he's gonna live. So he only has 1 hit point. That's for the shaman.
You can narrate that death if you want.
All right. He's engaged in combat with pipe rifle, right?
Yes.
All right. So the blast hits his face, and like the flesh disintegrates from his face, like that Terminator 2 thing, and like the dust kind of like gets in pipe rifle's eyes just a bit. It's just disgusting and epic. All right, and this is for the shaman. This is the actual damage to the shaman. Fuck. All right, whatever.
He still has to make a concentration saving throw since he's doing a concentration spell.
Oh, okay, good. What does that do to him then? What does he have to do?
I don't actually know what the roll is. I just know that when you get hit, you have to do a con save.
He fails his con save and he loses the ability to have the so all of the spiky tentacles that were kind of
Yay!
pretty camouflaged but hard to see unless you were there when they were created. They sort of sink back into the ground and disappear. The trap is basically gone.
All right, you're free, bitches.
Gojo, your turn.
So what I'm going to there's nobody alive except that mage.
Well,
back there,
there's the
right?
big guy that's underwater.
Well, I know the big guy. I've got a plan for that.
Well, this guy's alive.
Yeah, that guy's still alive too.
He's barely alive. He's barely alive. He's basically
I get two
completely
things.
jarred.
So for the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try to shoot that guy that was just pinged. And then, so let's do that first, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do second. So that is a 27.
Ooh. It's a
Yeah,
good hit.
that hits. That hits.
And I do 8 damage. Is he dead? Or not?
No, he's not dead.
Okay. Well, I don't care. Then I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on everybody within a 30-foot range of me.
There's nobody within a 30-foot range of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we are.
I was marking that like the
Yep.
whole time.
I would scroll down.
So everybody gets stealth.
A handy addition.
Unfortunately, Pipe Rifle has a turn in between, but since I wasn't completely last, but everybody else gets to have stealth. And that's it. Those
Figure
are my
out
2
Pipe Rifle.
actions.
I will think. That is your turn. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn, Pipe.
It is your turn.
Hey, where am I? a common question I find myself asking. That's deep, man. I'm hidden down by the. Yeah, by the surface. It says the guy in front of me still alive. Who is still alive?
The guy in front of you is barely alive. And there's one guy in front of you that's still alive. The other guy is dead, and then there's a guy in the woods is still alive.
Okay, I'm going to attack this guy directly in front of me. Finish him off. 17.
That hits, and you don't need to roll damage, but you can if you want.
I'm gonna. Yeah, Lord. Hey, we came in peace, asshole. Just fucking bleed him.
That is enough. That is enough to chomp him to many bits.
This didn't have to go down like this. I'm the reluctant barbarian, apparently. Sorry, lizard friends.
He looks at you with his lizard eyes like, you think you're better than me?
Pipe, you have another attack still, right?
I do. Can I split that with a move?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Then I'm going to run a few steps, take a swing at this other guy, too.
All right, roll damage.
Very well, roll attack.
Yeah, I mean,
There we go.
that's a hit.
Nice. I'm not even raging.
Roll damage.
Just running and chopping. Well, less of a chop on that one. Could have used
It
those to
doesn't
be
matter.
flipped.
He's dead still.
Oh, okay. Just as soon as I get free from
He
the
was
trap, I run out and start
basically
chopping.
he was basically on his very, very last legs from Fireball Blast.
That is good. Good chop. Some fortuitous
now
chop.
the shaman's turn. He can't cast any spells, but he begins. He kind of crouches down onto the ground with all four legs down on the ground. He begins shaking and quivering. His clothing is rent in twain as he polymorphs himself into a
Giant crab.
giant crocodile.
Okay.
Crocodile? We already did that one.
He is a crocodile, not a giant crocodile.
Fucking lizards, man.
And that's the end of his turn.
God.
However, out of the water behind you comes an enormous splashing sound as the giant lizard hurls himself out of the water.
What a dick.
Jerk.
Yeah.
And takes a couple of swings.
That's why I
Shit,
cast
he's out
stealth.
there back by the end of the.
Yeah, that's why I cast stealth.
Well, it's not. Do you think it's gonna help?
Bringer,
That guy not see.
Bringer, can I be an asshole?
What's up?
Polymorph has a voice component.
Does it?
Yeah.
Even I don't know if it does for him. It's his own thing.
It's a natural.
Oh, like it's part of the thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's his own natural.
All right. Fair enough.
He's
shamaning thing.
Anyway, I'm getting hit.
But yeah. So this guy is going to try. He has an enormous axe that he is armed with, and he is going to try to swing it at both you, and Dole.
Rude.
The big axe.
And
Body
so
spray everywhere.
if
So he can still see them even though I cast pass without a trace on them.
yeah, they're in combat still.
Pass without trace is like
This
ghillie
is-
suit plus leave no footprints kind of thing. Like if you're standing there and somebody knows you've been fighting, like, they can still see you.
So the
Yeah,
13,
but I thought it gave you like stealth ability, like it hid you from enemies that couldn't see you since he was underwater.
Let me check on that.
Maybe. I mean, Beatrol wasn't taking a hiding act either.
Like,
I
this
think-
wasn't
I
like
don't know.
you were fighting a guy and then all of a sudden I just made you disappear. Like, this was to kind of shield people who had already taken their turns from.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
You know what,
negotiate against my own party.
I'm gonna make him roll with disadvantage against these guys because he kind of popped up out of the water and then had to sort of figure out where they were. So
Yes,
there's
to
not really
acquire
a
target.
there's not really like a rule as written for this.
Gotcha.
But I get what you were going for and I like it. So I'm gonna make him roll with disadvantage. So
Yeah,
being troll, he has a 13 against you.
That's a miss.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. That spell as written, like the flavor text makes it sound like it does shit that the rules don't. It's confusing.
Okay.
No, but I really like
Yeah,
it. So I'm
yeah.
gonna go because like it what you're going for sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And then the way it's written sounds like yes, but then
And then it's just like, oh, it's just a dex bonus. Like it's like, all right.
So
Yeah.
so we're gonna go ahead and say that
Yeah.
it works the cool way.
Yeah.
And Pipe, or sorry, not Pipe, but Dole, he kind of pops up and he makes this big, enormous roar, but he swings kind of wildly and he misses on both of you.
Knock it off.
It's now your turn.
What jerk. Well, I was going to attack the shaman, but this has drawn my attention.
That's fair.
You know what? He wants to take a swing at me. I'm going to take a swing at him. I'm going to get right up in and grab him and inflict wounds on him.
Enjoy your wounds, asshole.
Son of a bitch.
You fuck
I
up.
rolled a one. Natural one.
Wow.
I do it to myself.
You get tangled up in the undergrowth, and frankly, the surprise of this guy popping up behind you, and you go to inflict wounds on him, and you just, I don't know whether it's a passing fly or something, but you're very distracted all of a sudden.
That fucking frog.
We knew he was our prime target.
Frog,
We didn't deal with it when we had the chance.
You end up blasting the frog that was standing next to the giant beast, killing the poor frog.
No.
Rip.
It's okay, he was a double agent. He was working for this guy to distract you.
Monk's turn.
All right. Quarterstaff. That's a 19 plus 7, so a
26.
26. I assume that hits.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and where's my D8?
Just putting it in the bottom.
Alright, so that is 8 damage, and I would like to try and stunning strike. Con save, DC 14.
For the record, I did 19 damage.
Alright, so he is stunned. I'm going to hit him again with my quarterstaff. That's a 20.
Yeah.
5 damage. Then I'm going to punch him. And that misses because that's a 7 plus 4.
Yeah, but not too bad for this. Adam, your turn.
All right. I'm going to blast him face. Because I hate him. And everything he stands for. All right. One. All right. Hit.
That's a hit.
Double hit.
And a hit.
And then damage. Then damage.
All right, 17 damage there. Pretty solid couple of blasts. He kind of rocks underneath those blows. And he is he's stunned, right? So,
Actually, It's a good question. He's not stunned, but I could throw him.
No, he's stunned. He's stunned
No,
already
he's stunned
from those
from
things.
me.
You could toss. You could toss him further if you like.
I don't think there's any advantage to tossing.
No,
Yeah,
probably not.
basically for stun, he just doesn't get a turn.
Gotcha.
It's how it
Okay.
works. He does. There's nothing else. Like it goes away on it when it rolls around, but he skips a turn is what it causes.
I thought Bringer was referencing my blast.
Oh.
Effect. Sorry.
Or till the end of my next turn is how long he's stunned.
And
you have a familiar somewhere, Adam, right?
well, Joe, it's
Yeah, he's with me, but it's either me or him. He doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't
Okay.
have it. Okay.
So I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the big dude that's over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop back to that ledge there,
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot the man 2 times.
Shoot the Mando.
23
Don't shoot the Mando.
He's got Beskar up here, right?
and 17. They both hit?
Yep.
Okay. So the first damage roll is an 11.
Albert
Second
Beskar.
one, a 4. So crit and a crit hit and crit fail. And then I get 2 Hunter's Mark hits, I believe. So I'm just going to roll 2d6. 10. So 25.
That is enough to kill this thing. Your hunter's marks basically, as the arrows embed itself into the back of this thing, causing it to do tremendous damage. Your arrows pierce its spine and sever it, and it drops down dead in front of Quill and Luther. Pipe, it's your turn.
Oh, who's left?
The
Crocodile.
the crocodile.
Oh, the big shaman dial. Where is he? This fool's dead though, right?
Yep, that fool's
Yep.
dead.
Biggin. Okay, so I'm actually pretty close to him. Is this real fire on the way, or is this a
That's
representation?
smoldering. It's small. It's a
Fireball.
representation of how fucked up
You can get through.
everybody got from that enormous.
Fireball leftovers.
Yeah.
I was gonna snipe this fucking crocodile. I really need some range. I might take a level in Warlock. Have him teach me how to Eldritch Blast. Okay, I'm gonna run up and take my attacks. I'm gonna try and actually I can take a reckless attack. Well, no, that's
That sounds like a good idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Has he taken any damage?
Not in this
How much he
form.
just-
I don't
just
know how it
been muted?
works.
Yeah, reckless. Well, yeah.
No,
I
he's
don't know.
taken damage. He just hasn't in this form, so I'm not sure how polymorph works for that.
A reckless attack would give me disadvantage when he would inevitably counterattack. So, but I would get advantage on my first. I think I'm just gonna run up and take my 2 swings.
Okay.
That's a 9,
That's not a 9.
and a 22.
The 22
was.
hits, the 9 does not. You'll need to roll damage.
I run up, take one swing that totally misses, and pretend it's like a golf swing where I was just like getting set up for the good one, and then give him a big whack with the second one.
Bring it back around and give him a solid whack.
I was
His
just a
damage
tester.
is
8.
pretty considerable on this guy. You get some pretty significant gouging on it. But it's now its turn, and it tries to bite you.
Well, yeah, I could have seen that coming. I didn't want to meta game by looking at the initiative. Oh no, he's not on there. I didn't know when his turn. was.
He hits you because you have 15 AC.
Right. Nerds to that.
And does 7 damage. It's a much subtler, gentler bite than the previous crocodile, which had you in its grasp. As a crocodile bite aficionado, you recognize.
I've really got a few under my belt. Well, not like that. Although I'm a lizard folk, maybe.
Thank you.
And you'll need to give a strength or dex check to see whether you are grappled and restrained.
Okay, well that one can be the dex check with advantage. Do that one. Try and jump out of the way. As long as I'm not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. Let's see.
Yeah, you are able to slip it.
One of those works.
Yeah, both of those work.
Alright.
You are able to
Hooray.
slip free of the bite. You take a little bit of damage from it, but
Caught a fang on the way
you
out.
are not encumbered by it.
Alright.
Joel, your turn.
Okay. I stumble through the underbrush a little bit towards the gator dial, and I will shoot a sacred flame at it. Just make
Okay.
a here.
Gator chomp up.
What's saving throw?
Dex 14.
That's a big old
Yeah.
fail.
Fuck you, gator face.
Oh, the glow just player icon is literally Leatherhead. Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
What's the damage on it?
That would be 15 damage.
It drops dead from the sacred flame, which drops from the sky.
Yeah. My god hates quad.
Oh shit.
Word.
As it
Be careful.
Yikes.
as it dies, it reverts back to the lizard shaman form, which collapses and lies smoldering on the beach.
That makes no sound.
Oh man, what a bummer. Yeah, even while you're dying, you're like, oh shit, I've been silenced.
Well, even Sacred Flame, like you hear this coming from the sky, and then it just cuts out as the guy drops dead.
It goes into the zone of silence, and
Yep.
the sound kind of just is eerily absent as this thing sort of sizzles and converts back to the
Just game question: is that actually how silence works? Is it
Yep.
Actually, like, oh, interesting.
Removes all sound from that area. Yeah.
Neat.
You usually use it to either stop mages or make it so you can do shit that might make
That's kind of what I
noise.
was wondering is if it could be that second.
Yeah, that's why it's part of like the Shadow Monk.
Ah,
I think Arcane Trickster Rogue gets it too.
interesting.
This dog knows when D&D time
Yeah.
is.
my dog's been coming in and poking at me, so I think we'll call it here, gents.
All right, sounds good.
Well, mine's not urgent if we want to wrap up more, but
Well,
Yeah, we can spend a couple of minutes wrapping
so
up if you guys want.
I survey the corpses of alligators. Consider inviting Igor to skin these for me, and then I realized it's kind of close to Pipe Rifle. Pipe Rifle's character found my desire to skin that last crocodile like.
I would probably be a little like, hey, dude, like what the hell?
Well, it's
But I
like,
guess he's gonna do the same thing if we kill any other humanoids. He's gonna want to skin them and eviscerate them right in front of us.
if we encounter a race of sentient deer people, like, is deer leather off the table? Like, it seems like that's the closed-minded approach,
No.
not my
Look,
approach.
Lizard folk eat each other when they fall in
Oh.
battle all the time. I don't
Okay.
care about the idea of cutting up a lizard folk. Just that the implication's going to be, do you want him cutting up on humans and shit? Because you guys will probably be more bummed out about it than I will.
Nah.
When we find
So as you guys are sort of debating this, Igor's
morality
come
of
up.
dissection.
He's kind of poking at this large lizard, and he picks up one of the hands. It's still attached to the arm, and the arm to the lizard, and it's all whole. But he notices how big the hands on this lizard are, and he has to extract them from this fairly substantial axe that it was holding, and he kind of casually just tosses this big axe aside because who cares about things. And he's kind of marveling at the claws on this large lizard, and then just happily like pops the hand off. Like you're not even sure exactly what's happening as you're looking, but suddenly there's a little flash, and the hand is off, and he's pocketed it in this little pouch of his for later, and he's kind of looks at the rest of it, but it's kind of messed up from the the rest of the attack, and he tuts a little bit when he realizes the spine is completely severed by Glojo's arrows. Because it was a good sized spine, and you never know when that comes in handy as he's kind of talking to himself.
I point at the axe and I point at Pipe Rifle. I'm like, anything you want?
Yeah, maybe. Well, you keep what you kill, right? I didn't
Sizable,
really help with
like,
that one.
For you?
I didn't really help kill this guy, but I assume he was a lot bigger than I was. I don't know, just by
if we break off one of
icon
the
size.
sides of the axe, it could be blunt, like a blunt instrument. The other side.
I've decided to just eat both weapons. I've got a warhammer as well. If we need any more, if we need swamp skeletons, I will have bashing damage. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean, I would. Is it just like a crude lizard folk axe with like bone and?
No, it appears to be really well made. As you're sort of looking at it, you get the sense that it could actually be magical, but it appears to be incredibly well made, especially for a group of lizards who are sort of wearing pretty primeval shit, to be honest.
They arm the lizard people with magical weapons.
But some of the but as you notice, the one of the lizards was just using a club, but the spear that the other one attacked you with was really well made as well. Not magical, but just a solid infantry weapon.
What if the axe is what made him swole? You should take the axe. Magical axe droid.
I'm gonna point that out to people and be like, all right, so this axe probably magic. It's the only thing clean that this guy was holding. Like, there's no rust on it. They live in a swamp. A couple of these guys are regular lizards. Look at their garbage they picked up, but then those look like the spears we saw on the boat, or something like it. Actual weapons coming from a city made by men to help for war. So I think we're on the right track.
And you take the axe, right?
And I'm taking the axe, yeah.
All right.
For investigation.
I take the
identified that hammer. Wow. Although it's probably just a hammer. I don't know. It's more of a tool than a weapon, I thought, but maybe not. Anyway.
Not yet a woman, but not a girl. That's what we're doing.
And as you're poking around and looking at the other corpses on the island here, and it looks like they've been sort of passing through somewhat recently, and stopped for some reason, maybe just to fish for frogs or frog for fish. At the southern tip of the island there, they'd had a little camp going before you guys rolled up on them.
Still crying about that one frog I accidentally killed.
So are we pretty fucked up? Do we need to rest before continuing?
Yeah, I'm gonna suggest.
So does it sound like we can camp here?
Or I could need magical healing, maybe.
Yeah, so they had a little camp going at the edge of the other island on this little beach.
I mean, we've made it nearly 100 feet into the swamp. We've died twice. I'm not sure if we want to rest here or rest back in the wagon.
Yeah, that was going to be my thought, is maybe let Igor help us with the wounds if necessary, and or finish his dissection and take a rest back up on shore.
None of us have like that magic tent spell where we can rest in safety, right?
Not yet.
It's a shame.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Is that a wizard thing? I don't know who normally.
I think it's a wizard thing.
Okay. All right.
That'd be the meteor if I would get that then.
All right, but we're wrapped up.
Yeah.
For now.
I think if we can safely take a rest, let's say we do that, we move back to the shore and do that, we will explore the rest of the swamp next time.
Sounds good.
Someone's getting eaten by an alligator before we're done, or it's not.
So we're taking a long rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell.
Have your fireballs back.
Alligator or different.
I need more fireballs.
I mean, can't blame you on that one, really.
We all they've been highly successful, and the fireball.
That one fireball was clutch. The fucking 31 damage roll.
That was a clutch fireball. I agree.
All right, good games, guys. I will catch you later.
See ya.
Sounds good, guys. Later, dudes.
He's garbage.